We are live now. We are just chilling, waiting for Neko to show up. Neko is currently redesigning their fleet carrier for OSP. So once they're done, they will join us here, and we will do some co-op fleet review and games together today. But for now, we're just kind of hanging out here waiting. Sorry, just making an announcement really quick that I'm live and that we will be joined by Neko in a moment here. While we wait for people to kind of filter in. Alright. But yeah, we are just chilling today. Chilling with Neko, doing some co-op fleet review. And yeah, once they finish messing with their OSP fleet carrier, they should join us here, hopefully. If anyone's in Neko's chat, spam him, let him know I'm live, and that I'm waiting for him in his server's voice call on the live voice channel. It would be really funny if I just sat here for 30 minutes waiting for him. Hello, engineering. Welcome in. Well, I guess in the theme of things, if Neko's doing their fleet carrier, you guys should... That's the wrong button again. I always do this. You guys should see my really awful OSP fleet carrier, or rather two of them, and none of them work. I need to rebuild my carriers from scratch. Look at this. 144 points over, 36 point over. None of these carriers work. I think this one has, like... How many Barracudas do you have? Not a lot. Yeah, you have 36 Barracudas. That is not enough. This needs to be redone. And this carrier needs to be just completely gutted, built from scratch. My other one is even worse, because it's like 150 points over. Oh my god, how am I going to fix that? That's the wrong faction. Okay. What do we have on this in terms of craft? Okay, you've got a more reasonable. That is 42 craft, so that's a bit better. But still, this needs to be completely redone, given that this is 150 points over, and does not work. Oh, hello. The Catboy is here.
I was wondering who was in here. How you doing?
Pretty good. Let us do our little co-op stream thing.
Yeah, just get that set up there. Where is that stream together function?
Yes, where is it indeed?
I think... Okay, there we go. I've got this. Let me just grab the invite links and send it to you in a moment here.
Okay.
Invite... Where is the goat? Alright. Congrats, you've been added to the favorites, and I've sent you an invite.
Awesome.
Just on intermission right now, so...
Here we go. Oh, crap. I'm in the wrong browser. Doesn't work on that main browser. Shit.
Oh, no.
That's fine. I can just pull it up on a different one real quick. I remember we had this problem last time, and I just completely forgot to fix it. I'm a great Twitch streamer. I'm a great Twitch streamer. I'm a great Twitch streamer. No one say anything else. I am great at this. Okay, send me the invite again.
All right. Invite should be sent.
Okay. There we go.
All right, I'm going to hit the share chat button.
Awesome. All right.
All right.
There we go. Okay.
I'm on intermission at the moment, but that gives me a second just to set myself back up for how we do thing.
Okay. How are we gonna do? I was just thinking, how are we gonna do the the shared fleet review? By the way, because neither of us can stream.
I was thinking we both load up the
same fleet
file.
and then both independently have it. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I think that's kind of the only way to do it, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm in your server, so I can download fleets from
Alright.
your server and you're in mine, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, yeah. Got the Dropbox here. I'll put an announcement in there.
Yes, if you're here, submit your fleets. You know where to put them. Put them in my server, because then I look more popular. All right, what do we have? Ooh, we have a Duke fleet. Interesting.
All right, there we are. Let me just flick back to my thing since ad breaks intermission is ending.
Okay. Oh, I have
Alrighty, we're back.
I have a fleet for us to
Woo.
review that's not in anyone's view, but it's peak. Trust me when I say that it is the best fleet I've ever seen, and I don't think we can build a better fleet than this. I think that it's just over. Like, Nebulous has been solved with this fleet.
Oh no. All right, so I just came back from intermission, so let me just do a quick catch up. We are doing fleet review together. I'm joined by Scapegoat there, lovely little person in the corner. We're still working on getting the anime avatar for them, but don't worry, that's coming soon.
Oh, jeez. I can't escape this, can I?
You put it in nuclear option. I'm just saying.
Okay,
you knew
that
what
was...
you were doing.
Okay. Do you want me to explain that one? Because it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
I forgot to unmute Scape on that. Whoops. There we go.
I'm muted? Okay, great. Okay.
No.
So-
Okay, I got you fixed. I just had to connect the audio cables.
Well, I wanted to commission Banana for a skin and nuclear option, right? Because they were relearning how to do it. And
Okay.
I sent them some ideas, and they sent me some back. And then they just decided to make me an anime girl skin, just randomly. Like, they just... they were sending me updates on, like, my design, and then all of a sudden, they send me, like, a rough draft of that one. And I'm just like, what? and then it just kind of kept going, and he's just like, yeah, this isn't your commission anymore. I'm just making this for fun now. So now I have now I have 2 skins in nuclear options. So great.
And thus Scape Chan was born.
Indeed,
Saying,
I
it's gonna
can't.
become your profile picture in a little bit.
I
Like,
know.
you know
It's already been
it.
requested. I don't know. It was really funny opening up because I was in class at the time. I get pinged in Dargs, and there's Dashort has linked everyone the skin. It's just like at Scape. What is this?
I remember seeing that pop up. I'm like, hang on, when did that happen? Where did this come from? Art is tomorrow. You're both cooked. Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
Escape. I think Leviathan's got a drawing tablet.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Ah! Oh yeah, we
Actually,
had
I
some.
think credit. Last Leviathan did a little profile thing for my fleet badge currently, which I've been running for a while now. Yeah,
it's nice.
Hmm.
But yeah, the other skin, the skin that I'm actually commissioning Banana for, is for the sigil I use on my ANS fleets.
Ah,
Because I'm a writer. I do creative writing, and there's lore behind that sigil and the faction names that I have in Nebulous.
Neat.
So,
Alright.
all right.
If I remember right, on the Colosseum map, you're one of the shipping containers.
Yes, I
right?
do. That's not lore related at all. That's just my profile badge.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I do actually have a little bit of stuff in one of the maps now. Which is kind of neat. The Scapegoat Shipping Company is alive and well.
If I wasn't busy at the time, I would have submitted ideas for the.
Well, that's the thing.
But...
Solo Hubris approached me about it. I was planning on doing it, like making my own thing, but I was like super busy that week, so I'm like, oh, I guess I'll just pass. And then Solo Hubris is like, hey, you mind if I just make you one? I'm like, oh, okay.
Might as well.
Alrighty.
Make sure I didn't bop the audio cables
Let
the wrong way.
me make sure.
Good.
Alright, I've got all of the fleets from my server downloaded.
Okay.
I
just told people to submit fleet submissions, so I'm just gonna grab these off of my server, and then I'll figure out which one of yours.
Oh, Lieutenant Hazel is here. Okay, where are we starting for yours?
Good question. Okay, for submissions, I had
everything
a
under
notification thing. Yeah.
Everything under the bar that I posted in my server is
okay.
What I have downloaded.
Let me. Okay.
Where's your? All right. So then it's everything under your announcement starting with toasts. Okay.
Yep. Should work well there. I think it's toast anyways.
Okay. Do we want to just alternate back and forth between ours?
Yeah, we can go through like, whatever we feel is at the list first. Kind of tech away from there. I feel like maybe we should go down like one list and then do the next.
One server and then the other. Okay, that works too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Otherwise
like
we're
the
gonna get
fleets have names, so as long as like we confirm the name of the fleet, it shouldn't
Yeah.
be.
Gonna go through there.
Okay, it looks like someone has. Okay, I say that, and it looks like someone has submitted the same fleet in 2 different places. Who
Okay,
submitted more gun? That was Toast.
Yeah.
Toast.
Okay, so that's a duplicate.
Toast, are
We
you in
just
our
got rid of
chat?
that.
Can you confirm that that fleet is identical in both of our servers?
It's a duplicate fleet file by the looks of it. I think that's fine then.
Yeah. It should be fine.
All right. Anyways, well,
We want to start with yours?
organizing this as we probably should have been smart and put this all into one file. So maybe I should put it towards yours.
I have my own.
Well,
I have my own
prompted.
system. I have my own system for getting the files in to my computer.
What do we want to start with then? I'll load up the fleet editor and open the old imports file.
Yes.
Looks like we got
Beloved
2, 3,
Sillies
4,
is the
5,
first
6,
one that
7,
pops up.
8,
We have a
9,
lot.
10, 11,
There's
12 fleets so far. Okay. Well, I got
they're
about
in-
2 hours to get through these, I think, at reasonable rate, so.
Well, I'll be here for a while, so
All right, so
I think
I'll leave you to deal with all the rest of them, right, as they get sillier.
oh no. Hang on, let me send you because I have the fleet that I want you to see. The peak fleet. We can't improve Nebulous in any other way fleet. Where did I put it?
I'm scared.
Here it is.
I've been told this before, but
No, you can't. I'll just DM it to you. So it's a surprise. Here is. You can guess what this fleet is based on the name of the fleet file. It's not too hard.
I don't like this. I don't like what that thing is named.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's peak. There's a video.
Sir.
A video of mine will be posted next week. Remember when I sent you that the pyramid scheme image?
Oh no.
That screenshot. Yeah. This is the
Oh, that's that.
yeah. It's
Oh,
part
no.
of the pyramid scheme.
Oh, I don't. I hate that I know what this is now.
Oh, it's incredible. It's we're just hyping up the audience. It's incredible. You can't trust me when I say that you cannot get better than this fleet. There's a cat trying to break down my door right now.
Oh, that's me. Sorry about that. I heard you had tuna.
Different cat.
Are we gonna close submissions? That's a good point. We should probably think about submissions.
Yeah,
length and how much we can get.
we have a lot, so let's give it. Do you want to give it a couple minutes and close, or do we want to
We
just
got
go and
15
close? We have a
fleets or so,
lot.
I think,
All right,
already,
we
so
can go ahead
yeah.
and close because I'll be live. I'm gonna be live
Right,
Sunday probably anyway, so I need some fleets for then anyway. So.
Okay, we'll get through what we get through then.
Yep, I will
in that
not
case,
be accepting
sorry
any
to
more
interrupt.
submissions for today's stream, but Sunday I'll show some off.
Tell you what then, because I've only got about like 2-ish hours to hang around for today. Did we want to go through my servers list
We can
first?
if you only have 2 hours, we can start with yours then. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll start with we'll start with those ones and then
Alright.
go from there.
What
because then we can go
is
through yours together. I think first would be
on
toast with
yours?
more
Toasts
gun.
and more guns. Ah, the duplicate fleet is first. All right, let's both load that up.
Cool. All right, let's take a look.
More gun. Here we go. Yeah. OSP fleet.
Yeah. I'm seeing false advertising first thing first here. Ship called Purple Drank, bulk freighter, and there's only like what 2 plasma guns?
There, I see 3. That's the
3?
standard. That's the
Okay.
standard for an obelisk.
Yeah, it's 3, but I was expecting this to be one of those good old plasma
Throngler.
can openers, you know? Yeah, Throngler.
No, it's yeah. You do 3 or 4 for a combined one like this. Now the question is, are we running? We are not running the strange tech I do, where I put a jury-rigged reactor in here for some reason with plasma.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. I did no. My obelisks, I do jury-rigged reactor, and then I just spam RCCs, and then it mag dumps like 30 rounds of plasma in like 2 seconds.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's your reload doesn't matter when you just instantly fry all the armor on the enemy ship.
Yeah. As it turns out, 64 shots of plasma kind of cooks anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that they take a long time to reload. Like, you're already at close range. You've already removed all their armor. It doesn't matter.
And you're gonna get instantly killed the second it fires anyways, as every hybrid play on the map looks at you, so...
All right. Oh, I see plant control in here. That's probably about right, given that there is no derivatior. Damage control's pretty good. We have a storage, a complex, 2 reinforced,
There's an
and a
energy
small.
regulator
Wow.
in here. That's an interesting tech choice.
Ooh, for the plasma reload. Okay, I kind of vibe with that. What else do we have? We have 3 ammunition elevators and 1 E-Reg, so 4 buff modules total. No RCCs.
I think that's a bit of a downside.
Yeah, I would have definitely, I would definitely probably replace the E-Reg with an RCC because you're buffing both the plasma and the auto guns, the 100 mil.
Yeah,
if you do that,
I think it's generally best to go. It's like 2 ammo elevators and 2 rapid cradles. I think is the best DPS.
You do 1-to-1 ratio with the preference towards ammunition elevators. Typically gives you the best damage output.
Yeah. Because that way you get your really fast, rapid reloading. And it also means the plasma gets on target sooner, so your other guns can start actually having effect with the HE.
Which is why I like when I run the combined 100 mil plasma obelisks, I do like to run a lot of RCCs. Because like I said, you just mag dump everything in the plasma guns, and there you go. You're good. Yeah. The enemy is armor stripped. Running single drive.
Pretty decent for like its overall layout. Like it's got
the damage control. The damage control is super solid on this, by the way. Like that's good.
That DC 10 teams. Ooh, yeah. That's
10 teams. Storage complex, 2 reinforced and a small. Yeah, that's very good.
Good buff. Yeah.
We're also running a bunch of T20s on the sides. I see. They are all on mounts that allow them to fire top towards enemy, yeah.
The game.
And also, it would appear that most of the Pavises are also in arc, so that they can fire if it's top towards enemy. Yeah, so yeah, fairly good.
Hemisphere coverage, and then they've got one kind of like bottom of the chin, one towards the top side. So yeah, they've got
the only
good
thing
PVs overall.
The only thing to consider with Pavises, their accuracy is much less than defenders, and so they're only really defending an area, like a short kind of bubble around where the actual Pavise mount is. And given that liners are very big, if a torpedo locks on to a point in the ship away from where Pavises are, a lot of the times Pavises just won't have the accuracy to shoot it down.
Yeah.
So
that said, if something's close enough to torpedo you, then
you can rely on
you either had to flak it or it's a surprise that you probably are. I saw 2 torpedo seals in the submissions list. I'm just thinking about those right now, I'm gonna be honest.
But at close range that torpedoes are typically launched at, you should have no problem killing it. One thing you do have to consider, the plasma turrets, their traverse is really bad. So make sure you're pre-aiming them before you go into combat, or else you're going to be stuck as the turrets are slowly turning to face the target while all of your other guns shoot at something that doesn't have its armor stripped.
Yeah. I got some quick things I wanted to go through here because I don't want to linger too much on one ship. But my immediate thoughts is I like putting the plasma guns at the front of the ship, so that way if it comes around a corner, I can instantly armor strip and then have gun follow-up.
Okay,
additionally, this thing has the big yard turning drive. I feel like you might want the long haul to kind of close that distance.
If you're running single drive, I vibe with the big chi drive. Okay. Because that linear thrust of plus 30%, if you're doing, especially if you're doing like max RCC, big ammo dump, that linear thrust allows you to duck out of cover fire and then just immediately hit the brakes and turn around and go back.
True. Also does give you a nice roll there to
the roll is also very nice when you're relying on getting all of this on target, yeah. Right. What radar are we running on this, by the way? I don't think I looked. Bridgemaster. All right, that's fair. At close range, a Bridgemaster is very useful.
I mentioned the lack of a pinpoint, and also the front of it has... it doesn't do the triple reinforced stack that I like to see in the front of most of these liners, so that's like
that is true. I think I would swap the positions of the Citadel mag and the storage. Personally, just to get that damage soak with your stuff in the front. Also, wait, where's our CIC? I just noticed we're only running
back one. The top there.
Yeah, we're only running one, which can be a bit rough. Your DC is like super good on this, so if you have to sacrifice like a reinforced or small locker to get another CIC, that is something you can do.
Star saying Citadel has to be safe to avoid red magging. That is
That
true,
is
but
true,
you can
yeah.
also run a secondary mag for a reasonable amount on a bulk freighter like this, especially with how good the BC is.
Maybe switch the
Let's look at his companion, the
complex.
battle bus, because I
Oh,
think it's
yeah,
laid
yeah.
out similar.
Okay. It's the same
Um,
point value, which is quite impressive considering that this is a
yeah.
completely different type of
Ooh, double
liner build.
drive with a jury rig in here. That's cool.
Ooh, double drive, sun drive, big chi drive. Yep, that's a very good double drive setup. Although you have to be careful because the sun drive will take one 450 round and die immediately.
Sundrive will get looked at funny and die immediately.
Yeah, it is held together by duct tape and it will explode. But you do have the chi drive that you can rely on if it does get sniped, so it's not the biggest deal.
I'll continue a thought from previous where people were talking about 250 liners. And honestly, the 250 liner I really like for this purpose because you can pen the armor of basically everything that's not a battleship. And with the jury rigged reactor, you get
Right.
the option of double driving this, which is quite satisfying.
That is
So,
true. I think most of my liners at this point are JRR or double drive, just because you just
hmm.
get having a ship that has this much firepower be able to go so fast is a very useful thing. You can
Yeah, it
outmaneuver,
feels
yeah,
kind of like
because
the OSPCL.
you need to be outmaneuvering Alliance capitals to get around their armor, and just getting that speed out of a ship like this is really fun.
Hmm. Last thing in the fleet is just a early warning Bloodhound monitor. Honestly, really nice tech. It does
Uh,
have Intel Center. All right, little CIA
ooh,
device.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I vibe with this.
Yep. The Visa's on there. VLS launcher. Requires a plank control center apparently. Does it? Okay, just
Uh,
barely does for the
the
adaptive.
power.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Um Civilian
Yeah.
reactors, Ithaca,
You
Citadel mag.
do, yeah, you do have a bridge master in this, which may not be required. I guess for Pavisa, if you're running Pavisas, though, having a search radar is very nice to actually allow them
Yeah,
to acquire targets.
gotta do
But,
that, but
yeah.
uh,
Yeah, not a
think
whole lot else to
that
say. We
yeah.
didn't even take a look at the, I'm assuming the damage control is pretty similar on the other liner. I just wanted to take a look at the buff modules
Yeah,
really
it was
quick.
looking decent. 10
We
teams,
have
similar
4
setup. So,
ammunition elevators on the 251, and those are the buff
mm,
modules. That's fair.
okay.
Um,
I think that you should swap to rapid cradles a bit more
I
with
think
these. This
yeah,
is hard to teach, right?
I think doing a 1-to-1 ratio of RCCs and ammunition elevators is very useful on liners because it does allow you to, and you get more benefit out of ammunition elevators just because the reload time on OSP casemates is so long. But honestly,
Hmm.
being able to just dump all of your ammo really quickly is very fun and very useful.
Getting that immediate effect,
Yeah,
yeah. There's a spreadsheet that is true for max RPM, and I think it's like the 2-2 even with
yeah,
escape said
I
ammo elevator favor.
yeah, that's generally what I see, and that's kind of what I try to run as well on a lot of my broadsiders.
I like the Intel monitor. I feel like it could be refined a little bit more. I'm not quite sure how they change it up.
Oh,
Maybe, hang on.
we have
I have an idea.
offensive containers on the back of the 250 liner as well that we didn't look
Oh, is
at.
there?
Yeah,
Ooh, I completely missed those.
looks like you've got
Decoys and
you have container line decoys for dealing with ARAD, very nice,
Okay.
and then 4 offensive container missiles.
These have
With
glitter on
whoa,
them. Ooh,
yeah.
okay.
I'm assuming you fire them in mixed salvos just to like finish off damaged capitals and stuff. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's a big boom there. That's
I
nice
do
tech.
I do
All right.
vibe with the finisher containers on the back of liners. You get so much utility out of these back mounts on broadside liners.
Mm-hmm.
You can do so much with them. You can do carrier stuff, you can do container stuff, you can do more guns, you can do an oscillator. It's very, very useful mounts back here. Huh.
Just testing around something on the monitor, seeing if I could get more power out of it. And you can actually by swapping out for a jury rigged reactor on it. Kind of cool instead of plant control center.
Oh yeah, you can
Actually
you can
cheaper,
swap
too.
you can put a JR with a
Take out the
small
plant control,
DC.
put the mag there, add
Yeah.
jury rig. So there's
Is
ways of doing that.
that still under points?
Yeah, it's actually cheaper. The one
Oh.
thing I was looking at was I'm a little concerned about the modules again, because like the early warning radar with adaptive receiver, I like that. A Bloodhound with just one track correlator isn't the best
Oh, there's
though.
only
So if they could
one,
squeak
yeah.
another in there, yeah.
What else are
Just
we
me thinking
running in
how they do
terms of
that.
buff modules? Ah, lots of reactors.
Ooh,
I see.
actually, you can just fit that. So here's tech feedback. Yeah, get your jury rigged reactor. Take your magazine where the plant control was. Take one of those reactors out. Now you've got 2 track correlators and adaptive receiver. and you can still fit all that just under your power budget by like 100 kilowatts.
That is true. Yeah, you can just spam JRRs in a backline ship like this, and I mean, like on a backline ship like this, if it gets hit, it's screwed anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's a sensor awareness
It's a sensor
asset thing.
awareness
It's out
asset,
there.
yeah. No, I completely agree. Just probably
I like the monitor.
I do.
It's good with the Intel Center.
The Intel Center is a very strong thing to use on this, but yeah, like Neko said, having 2 track correlators on that Bloodhound will go a long way for helping you out.
Especially since you get a little bit of track error added with the adaptive radar receiver, which kind of hurts, but
Right.
it's not like
It's not
too
the
bad.
worst.
It's like 5%.
Yeah, no, it's manageable.
As my perform PVs, yeah, I think it's good to just have point defense though. So, all right. Want to move on to the next one? Or do we have anything else to say?
I think we should head on to the next one. I think we kind of said everything we needed to. What is next? It looks
on
like
the list.
GLD Levy Railstones Cappers.
Yep,
Interesting.
Where is that?
I like how some fleets you can tell what it is from the name, and then other fleets it's like, okay, what does this mean?
Yeah, it's one of those, like, you know, the bell curve memes where it's like, oh yeah, like new players is like, the Bismarck is like, okay, it's a battleship. Then you get silver rank where it's like highly specific, like super acronym max, and then is like the gold ranks. It's just like this fleet is called Trog. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, hang on.
The bell curve.
That's not a...
Levy Railstone Cappers, I think it abbreviated to. I don't. I've seen some.
Didn't copy paste. Hang on.
Light strikey levy, railstones, and some gun cappers. Yeah, this tracks with Star's description.
Give me a second while I find the right import. I must have misplaced it. Yeah, okay, it does just remove the GLD. That's odd.
Curious.
Right, anyways.
Yeah, we've had some problems with weird fleet names in the past. I think Nebulous names the fleets strangely when you export them.
Sounds about right.
All right.
Anyways,
Whoa, we have a light strike levy for, and just dealing with light craft. Lots
1,700 points about that. Okay. 2 types of Tantos I'm seeing. Got coil toes and the 20 mils.
It did say, or were they coil toes? Ah,
12
I see.
of them are coiled, 20 or 20 mil.
Yep, with S1 and S2s as well. Interesting. All right, we'll take a look at the craft later. Let's take a look at the rest of the fleet before we move on. Not a whole lot of buff modules within the carrier, but I guess for like a minimal investment support carrier, that's probably fine.
Yeah, you got to cut budget somewhere to fit like 2 railstones and 2 cappers. That's quite a bit of backline power. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
this
like,
is
single flight deck.
430 point railstone. Yeah.
That'll do it. Yep.
Yeah.
You can tell this is stretched on a shoestring
Oh,
budget.
you can tell. It's trying to do 3 things at once, but honestly...
Whiplash drive on the destroyers.
Oh. Is that for power? No, that's
doesn't
not
look
for
like
power.
Okay.
I would definitely be running a Dragonfly in those.
Yeah, I understand like Whiplash, the appeal of trying to like reposition your guns, but Dragonfly for the fixed spinal, like you have to remember these things aren't doing anything unless that spinal is on target, and the Dragonfly really does help with that. No.
Honestly, my general thought process is for Railstones, if it gets detected or otherwise the enemy figures out they're there and can launch strikes against them, you're not going to be able to reposition them fast enough to really prevent them from going down.
End of the day, it's a fairly light destroyer, and the amount of budget you'd have to put in to give it like good enough point defense on it is generally spent better elsewhere. Like, I like to slap a defender onto them just in case of a container strike or something lazily drifting its way over, but...
It's to grab angles around cover. Oh, I see.
Right.
So for... Okay, I can vibe with that.
Like, go faster, I guess.
Okay, I kind of see it. I would still prefer Dragonfly just to make sure that I'm actually hitting the targets and not just sitting there uselessly, but... I mean, if it works for you, I guess at long range... the effect
as long as you get on
minimized.
target and have effect, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just a personal preference choice. I think Dragonfly's the default for destroyers, with Raider and Whiplash kind of as your tech choices.
Looks like we got some cheap little gun cappers here. Oh, we afforded the double-barreled one. Whiplash
these
drive.
actually, hey,
rebounds.
We can talk about this. Rebounds, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, I think that's taking advantage of the new flak rounds, how effective those are against
Yeah,
fightercraft, and
no.
expecting that to be a
Also
thing. So
against R1 and R2 strikes, those would be very effective.
that is true. And not against our twos that did get fixed because
Oh yeah,
they
yeah, no,
for a
that's right,
while
that's
had
right.
the yeah.
They did get their wall thickness increased to compensate, didn't they?
But
It's
as
really
far as
nice
gun cap
against
go, this seems kind of
MMTs
cute.
too. Yeah, against 4 S2s, that would also probably be enough.
Yeah.
And they're less dependent on accuracy, so you don't really have to worry about jamming, messing up your track. Yeah, no,
It's got
I
a
I
couple of
vibe with the
sensible ones.
double rebound. The only problem is that if you get torps launched at you, you have absolutely nothing to stop them.
Yeah, I'd say torps are not a super common thing right now, though.
Oh, that is
Like,
true. Yeah, I do run a lot of torps on ANS cap fleets. I do love my torp curves, but yeah, against
torpedo vets are nice.
against ANS, I don't really see a whole lot of torpedoes being
Yeah.
used.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
have to bring out a torpedo tug or two against you next time we skirmish.
Uh oh. Well, I do defenders on my caps anyway. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I kind of like these. It's a lot that you're trying to do with this fleet. Like trying to get the rails here is gonna run the budget. The cappers are interesting little tech there. Seeing like that brought out like the kind of picket asset, and then the levy is really on the shoestring, like going no buff modules, and then the strike craft. Like you've got a
Right.
good Tanto count. Don't get me wrong. 32 is still a respectable
Oh,
amount.
that's a lot of craft for half half levy. That's actually impressive.
Yeah. Like you're paying for it with how fast you can field them, but
Right.
just having like 32 fighters just to occupy space even. And here's the thing. They don't know if these are coil or if these are 20 mil until they engage. So you can make people think twice about this.
I'd like to take note of the S2s. Yeah, let's take a look at what that craft
commands.
actually have. Because I noticed we're doing S2 bombing as well from the Tontos, which is really interesting. So we have standard SAR H1 point S1s. That's pretty standard. It's like we have an ACT radar. It's flashbang with ACT.
Flashbang cheap out, yeah.
Okay.
So try and mess with enemy fighter craft.
Pocket Sand is an AMM, I'm assuming. Yeah, I saw a couple of
AMM
these on
defensive.
the, it's not a flashbang. Ooh, what is this?
Wait, what? Hang on.
Text small targets.
Okay, it's not a flashbang specifically, I guess.
Offensive? What is this?
The Maulers, those are on...
Is it a...
Where are they?
What are these loaded on in terms of the craft?
Yeah, it's not technically a flashbang, but it is like a missile you still fire off similar way. It's a flying decoy. It's a pennade flying decoy. Oh, they've got frag bombs on here, so this is meant to like eat enemy missile stuff. That's these AMMs, huh? Okay, that's
Huh.
So I guess
Yeah,
these are meant to be fired
on...
as like.
Oh, they're pin-8s for the S2s. Look at the little makers.
That's
yeah,
what they do. So when AMMs deploy, these things fire off, and in theory, they'll be able to.
The
eat
AMMs
AMM
acquire. If the AMM is hacked radar, they'll acquire the S1. Ooh, that's interesting.
Huh.
I kind of like that. That's sneaky.
They fire first, followed by the S2. So then, like when the AMM deploys, it locks onto the first small threat it sees, which is these. That's
I guess
interesting.
that's a really unique way to confuse ACT AMMs.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That does some weird shit, man.
And they're 1.2, so if they acquire the if the 2-point AMMs acquire, yeah, it's cost effective too. That's actually really awesome. You're AMMing the AMMs. That's
this is some weird tech war stuff we've seen going.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This is what I like about Nebulous. It's yeah, the tech war goes back and forth to the point where counters have counters to counters to counters. Yep. And it's
this is why I play gun fleets.
Yeah,
this is like, okay,
this is
how
why
much health bar you got? Let's find out.
This is why I don't use missiles. I am not getting invested in this. Yep. I just put 450s on a battleship and call it a day.
Yep.
But yeah, the rest of
Shaft
the
with an engine. That's a good point.
The rest of the strikes look pretty normal. I like we're using the fragmentation bombs too as well. I haven't seen these in action yet. I'm curious to see how effective these are.
I really like the concept of the frag bomb just as like it's a limited thing where it's specifically going against these light targets. I don't know how much the armor pen for the shards that Senzo is. Let me see if
Hang
I
on,
can
let
find that.
me... I think it was just enough to pen, like, tugboats and...
15 centimeters. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that'll pen... Yeah, that'll pin shuttles, tugboats,
shuttles, tugs,
and
and corvettes.
Corvettes. Yeah. So yeah, no, those are. That's interesting. Depending on how much
Technically, on a
damage they
perfect flat
do.
angle. Sorry, I backed out of you, but
Oh, no, no, go
technically on a
ahead.
perfect flat angle, it will pen a range, but you're not really gonna get that ever. So yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Nice
That,
one.
depending on how much damage these do, that might
Yeah.
actually be a very useful anti-light weapon. It's kind of nice because I know that OSP carriers are really good at anti-light because they have the R1s. I'm
R1s
thinking,
and the
I'm
100
thinking
mil
that maybe the
bombers.
frag bomb is gonna be OSP's R1 equivalent, I guess, for
You mean
actually
ANSs, but yeah, I
ANS,
get you.
yeah, for anti-light strike, something that's unique that they can run. It's not unique, right? OSP has access to it too, I
I think
think.
it's everyone has access, but it's kind of cool
But
seeing
it's kind of
as
nice
like a new
because yeah,
tech.
we can something more variety to our anti-light strike is always kind of interesting instead of
I
just
will say,
spam.
like with a slight bit of pride, I did defeat this thing the other day because I'm the one guy who runs
Oh.
warbler shuttles with my MMTs.
You know what? I also do that as well.
It's
The
good tech.
the OmniJam shuttle is so good.
It's so good, but then I just
Oh,
hit
the
shot and I'm
wait,
like,
the
oh, I
FBU
forgot.
is Cookie is saying the FBU is ANS only.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
I guess that makes sense because RPF is ANS only as well, right?
Okay, that's yeah, okay, that's kind of nice. Yeah, I do like that if since it's ANS only. It's their R1 rocket equivalent.
Okay, yeah.
That's tech. That's cool. That's cool.
All right.
Because I know that ANS carriers have been suffering from an issue of being a little bit boring compared to OSP stuff, especially in like the bomber department. Because OSP
Yeah,
bombers can run a bunch of stuff on them, and as bombers are just like, yeah, just
they're
put the
there.
just put the torpedoes in and you got it. That's all.
I'm gonna
That's
be.
that's it.
Can I soapbox for a quick second?
All right, all right.
I want there to be something weird and screwy with the ANS bomber.
I kind
Currently,
of do
it's just got
too.
the S2 and S3 bay. I
I
want there
was
to be
kind of,
something fancy.
I was kind of like, wouldn't it be interesting if you could just mount like a 120 millimeter turret to the bottom of the bomber instead of like munition bays? Just run
I
around
was
with a little
thinking maybe
gunship.
something like that, but I was thinking, okay, it's got to be Alliance, so it's got to be super
Beam bay.
expensive, super fancy. It's got to be something like some Admiralty signed off on that's really cool. So I was thinking, like, what if it had like I don't know, some laser microwave or
Oh
jammer
my
device,
god.
just
You say that
something like
you
high
say
tech,
that you
right?
say that right as Tasty says Beam Bay in chat.
Yeah. Well, even then, it's just like the idea of like, what if there was like to dazzle enemy fire control radars? It's got like a
Okay.
special like projected jammer thing, and like because it's got the
Cuz
offset
yeah,
cockpit,
yeah.
right?
I
It makes
like
me think, what's on the other side?
Because I like I like OSP bombers a lot. Because 100 mil bombers are so fun on OSP.
I'm so
They're
glad we got them.
they're so awesome. I always, by the way, I always run HEHC 100 mil bombers in my OSP carriers because
Ah,
it's like 3 points extra for a couple sorties, and
I might have to take that.
you can't guarantee that your team will bring enough plasma to make them work. But if they do, it's really funny to just tear up an Axford with like 4 bombers with 100 mil.
I will say that you have a bit of point there. If you think about it too, right? How often do ships just randomly get reactor bloom due to bad luck? Because OSP has like
That
jury
is,
rigged
yeah,
reactors
that is
or
true.
boosteds or stuff,
No,
right?
yeah, no, for
So
honestly just like 3 or 4 points for a couple sorties, it's worth it. Like 100%.
yeah. Aurora and Bomber, Mobile PD. Yeah, just something like
Yeah,
maybe
something
not like an exact Aurora thing, but just something fancy and technical to get
something
them a little
fun.
spice. Yeah.
The bulk mag could be reinforced on the carrier. That is
That is
true.
true.
Yeah, you only have you're not using a whole lot of this thing. You can definitely reinforce this. I don't even have
We
to
do
check.
that.
You can just do that. It is also
Oh, yeah,
worth
you got
noting
plenty of
that
space.
with your where are the Star H ones? Yeah, the illuminator cone on the Tontos has been nerfed a little bit, increased from 5 or yeah, it increased from 5 to 10 degrees, I think.
Yep.
So
10 degrees is the same as the Barracuda.
yeah, so
illuminator thing,
Chaff's gonna be a lot more potent at dealing with your SAR H S1s, but against like light targets that are less likely to have enough chaff to deal with that, I still think it can work.
it still works for the strike purposes. You've got the frag bombs for doing a little bit of like anti-shuttle,
Right.
anti-tug, and that feels good there.
I want to test out these frag bombs. I really do.
Yeah.
Because they seem like a really nice tool to have for anti-light strike.
Wait, hang on. What? Oh shit! Those saw missiles are frag.
Wait, what?
They're not explosive. They're frag.
They're anti-craft? What? How did we not notice this? Huh?
Okay.
Ah! Oh, they are. Wait, they're set to self-destruct as well. Okay.
Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
I think that gets overrided by the craft controller. But,
I have no idea.
You shouldn't
Interesting.
do that.
I don't.
But
I completely. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just saw the Star HS once and just assumed.
Yeah, like you look at that, you're like, oh, okay, you're doing Tanto Light Strike. We've seen this before.
Okay. Can you illuminate craft enough for this to work? Does it actually
have enough
hold?
illuminators, maybe?
The self-destruct is there for a reason. What is going on?
It's like, okay, just checking. You guys know the self-destruct, like that doesn't set off the warhead, right? Like you're aware of this, right? Like it doesn't mean that it fuses and detonates the warhead. Yes, you are? Okay. They know. All right. Star,
Oh
I'm scared.
God. These are 1-point anti-craft missiles, I think.
Huh. It flies past, it won't guide, doesn't set off the warhead. Huh. So it can always be launching because size aspect only in that. Okay, so it's just a constant spam of size 1s to try and illuminate and like so craft AI doesn't fuck it over. Oh, okay. So it's just meant to be like if it misses, it detonates and then you launch another immediately.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Huh.
I guess that would make sense that this is on the coil Tonto then, because I'm assuming the coil Tonto then is pure. No, it does have the fragmentation bomb, so this is more.
Yeah, because you get the size 1.
Even the SAR S1 loadout is called ASF. I just completely missed that.
Mixed strike, missile ASF. Yeah. Huh. That's interesting.
It's the same reason you use
it, yeah.
self-destruct on AMM sometimes. PD control will fire another if the salvo size is set to greater than. Oh, I see. So if it misses, it'll self-destruct, and then it'll immediately give the order to your ship to fire another one. Okay.
The craft controller, it's like so many people are figuring out the ways to spoof it.
I know this.
Like, quirk it. This is partially why I didn't want to get too deep into the weeds of carrier
Yeah,
stuff,
no,
but...
this Oh, the behavior is so complicated for everything in this game. There's so much you can do to like exploit it or take advantage of it. This is really interesting, though. I want to do fragmentation bomb testing and also want to test out stuff like the SAR HS1s you have here, because I have a feeling that this is actually going to be very effective.
This has some teeth to it. So,
yeah, no, I vibe with this.
Misk and Mink. Okay, if it's from Misk, that checks out. Misk gave me some missiles a while back. That okay, I can tell you put 100 hours in them.
The sundials are Elent as well, and there's 3 of them.
Ooh, that's very nice.
That's a lot of points into those. Don't lose those accidentally, because that's expensive, but also very useful.
Yeah, it's worth noting for the price. Like, you have to make sure you are getting the Elent value, because you could take off the Elent and get another sundial, and they have space for that. So.
That is true. How do fragmentation bombs work? They're effectively just like RPF shells, but bombs.
Yeah.
So
like
you'll drop them. They drop like bombs. They drop like bombs. They explode, and you're the target, and shower the enemy with fragments, just like RPF does.
Justification reminds you of decoy warhead S2 AMM for anti-SDM2 spam. We really are just in the missile warfare.
I don't. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here.
Yep.
Next,
I'm loading another fleet.
Next fleet.
What's the next submission?
Next fleet. Next fleet is carrier. I hardly
Lord
know.
Argon
Oh my god. It's another carrier. It's another carrier. Oh no. Oh, where is? Okay, we can delete that one.
Yep.
Carrier. Oh my. It's. Oh no. Are you looking at the preview for this fleet? You see
Hang on.
It? Oh,
wait,
no.
hang on. I didn't look at the preview. What am I going to...
It's not a carrier.
Oh, God. It's not a monitor ball. No.
It's not a carrier. I think
just because you can doesn't mean you should.
I think I would have preferred another carrier. Oh no, what is this?
We have carrier at home,
How many
she
craft
said.
is this kit? You get 32 barracudas and 4 pikes out of this. Oh no. Oh no.
New loadout.
Stop.
It's so cursed.
You can't just
Wait.
don't call this tech. Don't call this tech.
Okay, escape. It is so cursed clicking on the Barracuda thing and seeing new loadout and seeing 4 different ships with this loadout equipped on it.
Oh Christ. Oh, they didn't even name it. Oh, no.
New loadout. It's a vibe. It's got
What is
fuel
this?
tanks,
It's just
light bombs, piranhas.
piranhas.
Yep, okay.
Okay, yeah, it's just this is
We-
definitely a new loadout type of loadout.
We have R3KB22 at home.
What is this? The fabled quadruple levy. Oh no. Oh my god.
What do
It
they
has
have? They have
gun cappers
T20s.
too. Oh, they have T20s? Oh no.
All the monitors have T20s. Yep.
What is this?
Got
What? 2 bulk
Black,
internal
Grape,
hangers.
AG, AP.
I-
It's got a spacecraft repair station, right? Because it needs to.
Because you
rearmor
need to
repair
have one on an
things.
on-carrier, yeah. You
It's got
fit
4
4 ammunition elevators into this? What the fuck? What is
Best
this?
cap fleet. Oops.
Is this a cap fleet?
Okay, well, here's the funny
Actually,
thing about
you
this,
know,
right?
bringing monitors in a cat fleet is a vibe because
Yeah,
it's with people not running Torp Corps for some reason, there's not a whole lot an ANS cat fleet can do to get through the armor of a monitor.
You are right on that. However, yesterday HIMARS did kind of beam the shit out of me in one of those while I had the same thought. So I will
Okay,
say there's tech
yeah.
counters, but
Yeah, beams will also work against monitors.
Yep.
Oh my
Still,
god, I love there are how many? Wait,
Neopike,
6.
yep.
There are 8 craft. There are 9 craft on each of these monitors.
Yeah, because the
2
there's
bulk
2
internal
hangars
hangars.
and the 3 launch
Do the
pads.
bulk internal hangars not have compounding cost? They don't.
Huh.
I thought that was one of the things that definitely would have compounding
I guess
cost.
they would.
I guess
because
I don't think it really matters.
otherwise
if
the
they
levy would be
did.
too expensive, right?
That is true, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Neat. Their
This
Pike
is
specifically illuminated pods don't care about EO thing.
yeah, okay, you know, I think this is supposed to be a cat fleet, and honestly, I kind of
It's certainly a
vibe
fleet.
with it. If it's a cat fleet, like I kind of ball with it. They're not in formation. This is definitely a cat fleet. I kind of
Is it
vibe.
dispersed? We are really pushing the envelope on what we call a cap fleet these days.
You
but-
know, but honestly, I kind of vibe with it. Like you put these monitors on a point. Like, what is an enemy cat player gonna do? Like, it has guns to shoot back. It has the armor to resist your 120s. Like, you need torpedoes to get through this, and even with like a full torpedo salvo,
or big gun.
yeah, even with a 4 torpedo salvo against these like 5 or 6 torps, I don't know if you're gonna be doing enough to actually K-kill them.
Like, those T20s are really small hitboxes, right?
That is true, yeah.
And they've got to reinforce like mag and CIC, so you can't break that damage threshold.
Can you run
20% reduction?
Can you run a Citadel, or is a Citadel just too small? Just barely.
You don't need the
Citadel is just barely too small for what you have, yeah. Because they need to reinforce for the craft stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then you've got 2 gun cappers as well. Like,
okay, the gun capper's actually kind of cool. Just it's got a bastion on it because, like we said,
Bastion,
people
yeah.
aren't running torpedoes.
Yeah, you might as
so
well.
Size 3 hybrid's gonna pen anyways.
It's weird to say based on how cursed this fleet is, but I honestly think that this is actually gonna be decently effective at a cap fleet. Like,
I think just for the sheer weirdness factor of this, and like
I think this
if you
is
see
I think
4
this is
monitors
too
on
I think
board,
this is
right?
too out of the box for ANS cap fleets to really counter.
Huh.
And yeah, and then you've got anti-light strike on all these craft and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and you've got good loadouts on them as well. Like, you can sortie a couple of these from each monitor.
Yeah.
Like,
And if nothing else, you have 20 mil to like play interceptor forwards. So.
yeah, you can I think this is actually going to be a lot more effective than it looks from the preview
This
on
is
the
just gonna
loading
hit
screen.
somebody so hard by being so weird that they're
This
not gonna
is
know what hit
this
them.
is this is gonna make a cap player uninstall the game. Like what do you do against 4 monitors sitting on 4 points that also have guns and also have craft to deal with your
And there's
stuff?
just craft loitering nearby. It's like, okay, missile me. I'll just intercept you with like a right click.
This is. I think this would actually be effective.
Why
I
is
can't.
this somehow working? This is.
I. Oh my god! I mean, like from the preview, I thought this was just gonna be a meme, but like
Yep.
it's so well thought out and well put together
Yeah.
that I don't think it can be considered a meme. I think this is actually
Yeah.
just like a out of the
I
box
hate to
yet
say
still
it.
effective fleet. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh my god.
It's like they're saying, yeah, it's like there's a gentleman's agreement of 3K carrier per game, but these are not technically carriers. These are just
Yeah.
monitors with backpacks. So
Exactly. You have 32 Barracudas total is still and 4 pikes as well
that
with
feels.
the EO ball.
Hmm.
This feels wrong. This feels like
This is more fighter craft than you fit in a journeyman.
yeah, this is strange.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay.
This is
Well,
why Edge's fleets scare me because there's
I'm a
weird
little
shit
yeah.
that you like blink at like that's
I mean
stupid.
I
And then
mean
you think like, wait, that might work.
I'm known for being a cap player. This scares me a little bit. Like, what am I supposed to do if I run into this? Wait for my battleship to arrive? Like,
Just like, Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
battleship, I need support. Help.
What do you mean you
my
need
God.
support? It's just the first minute of the, oh dear God.
Why is there a monitor with carrier stuff on this point?
Let me read the description of this submitted.
Does it have a description?
A sin against God and man. Instead of having a completely normal carrier, I have stuffed fighter bombers into 4 monitors with the leftover points going into shuttles. Yeah, you certainly
Yeah.
did.
Honestly, just play this as a cap fleet, and this is going to be very effective. I'm not going to lie.
All right.
The downside
to the
is
next one,
if
then?
if the enemy has like a single HEKP S3, you're kind of screwed because you do not have the defenses. But honestly, if you're playing them dispersed, you can absorb the hits.
All right.
Yeah,
Next is going to be Task Force Fur
Task
from
Force Fur is
Firebird.
Firebirds. Ooh, we have a
Uh,
Solomon. Ooh.
Let me read the description here.
I'm going to move this carrier fleet into a folder for later, just in case I want to steal it.
All right. So, where's that description? Hang on, I just scrolled off it. Okay, it's a 3K consisting of a beam battleship and 2 cap ships intended to cap points and beam ships. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Oh, one of the Corvettes is called Dagger's Drawn. This is what I named, I think, one of my Axfords a long time ago. That's kind of interesting.
Nice. I'm immediately looking at the beam battleship and seeing a VLS-3 full of size 3 hybrid blast frags.
Based, hello, based department.
Yeah. Maximum
I saw
boom.
the other day.
Bombers.
The other day I saw a guy run S3H AMMs, and it kind of worked. A single one of them killed like 8 S2s that were going for him.
You know what really annoys me?
Yeah.
I saw Pyrope do that like 8 months ago, and I was like, nobody else would do that, right? And here we are.
Pyrope would definitely do that.
Yep.
That is a Pyrope tech.
All right.
All right, let's take a look at the
Two
battleship. What
pointers.
do we got for damage control? 3 large, a reinforced, and 3 rapid. All right, 7
where's the DC board?
restores. Not a lot of reinforced DC, which how expensive is this battleship?
It's a
2.5,
decent price.
2.6.
Yeah.
For that price, not having more reinforced is kind of rough. Like you get hit by hit by a missile salvo and you're kind of screwed. Whereas with
I will
reinforced
point
DC,
out
you
here,
can fight. Oh, yep.
340 of those points are going to missiles. So
That is true. Yeah, we do have to
it's
consider.
really more like a 2.2K.
There are no SDMs on these. It's only breadsticks and whatever these S3H creatures are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here's the thought, right? Like, bomber's the actual threat, because
That is true. Yeah,
what are
because you can't
Barracudas
carry.
gonna do to you?
You can't carry KBU-22s anymore on Barracudas. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hell bombing is
So, like,
dead. Woo!
woo!
I can play capitals again. Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, no,
See, like,
actually, yeah, no. If
huh.
you're just the issue you have to consider is that a lot of the times bombers are going to be escorted and they might be able to intercept your breadsticks.
Yeah.
But
At the same time, though, like, those size 3 hybrids are kind of scary for that.
yeah,
And
no, these can get these if they stage at the right time, these will get through any escort and potentially
blast
take some escorts with them if the blast radius is big enough. What's the blast radius in these?
154 blast radius on
Oh, it's
these.
max size. Oh,
Yeah.
this is going to kill a lot of craft.
That's gonna like wipe the whole bomber wing if you're not.
Okay.
If you get the timing right too, and you pop one of the bombs, right?
Okay. Oh, and then you just beam the surviving craft. That is true.
Yeah, because you have a beam turret, like
yeah.
3 of them. So
I love how beams have become one of the most effective anti-craft weapons. How did this
Heimer's is in
happen?
the chat, and I know I've seen.
Yeah, I
beam,
saw that.
like,
I
8
saw that
bombers or
clip of
something.
the Keystone killing an entire squadron of like 12 bombers with the beam.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, battle short flip. We're in Aurora now, sir.
Oh no. Yeah, but beam turrets are unironically like very effective against bombers because they have massive damage output and it's instantaneous travel time.
It's basically just a big green
It's
Aurora.
a big Aurora. It's just a big Aurora. Yeah. Command, wake, tech small targets, defensive craft. Yeah, fairly standard stuff. I am also going to maybe steal this S3 AMM anti-craft missile.
Might just go for one in the folder.
I might just put these on my beam battleship.
Get a new template. That don't mind me.
All right, what else do we have? We also have some AMMs and some. That's an arming missile. I'm assuming that's on one of the cappers.
No arming missile on the cappers, actually.
Wait, what's this wake missile on then? Is this one on the battleship? Oh, the battleship has an arming missile. Okay.
Interesting. All right.
All right, what else do we have on the battleship? What are our drives? Dragonfly, Raider, Whiplash. Okay, fairly standard stuff for a beam battleship. You need that 4th slot for a reactor to actually get your beams functional. What's our buff modules on the beams looking like? 4 FPAs and 2 mount gyros. My man. Yep. Yeah, I vibe with that. Yeah.
What you expect, really.
Mount gyros on beam turrets are really good. Their traverse sucks. Put mount gyros, please. It makes them much better at anti-craft.
Yeah, 5 degrees a second not happening, G.
I'm assuming we have a parallax somewhere on this too. Yep, there's the parallax.
Yep.
Damage control.
Pretty normal.
Damage control is a little.
Fire suppression in there as well.
Oh,
very
that's
nice.
also very nice. Damage control's a little light for my liking, but you can make this work.
Hang on.
Beam. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna counterpoint you on that. Like damage control teams. Let's do a crew count. There's 14 teams. There's 2 workshops and a damage control central.
That is true.
So
they're pretty well buffed.
It's not the most team count, but they're really working hard to get those beams back up online. So
that is true. Yeah. No, I was mostly looking at the ratio of reinforced to large, because those larges are gonna die.
Yeah.
Those larges are gonna die as soon as you get hit by like a single missile.
Yeah.
Where are they located? I'm assuming they're located in the core. Yep, we got some there, one there.
With the plant controls.
Okay, so they are in very well protected slots at least. Yeah. So yeah, they probably will actually survive pretty well. All right, let's take a look at the battleship. I vibe with this battleship build. Let's take a look at the cappers. I'm assuming these are pretty identical. Yep, they're identical points. Gun builds.
Yeah, it's a cheaper capper,
it's a cheaper
which is kind of what you expect these days. Honestly, I think. But
honestly, if you keep them in reserve and let your cap player do a lot of the initial caps, like these can come in later and be very effective.
Yeah, this to me, I like, because as a cap player, I'm normally like having to do all the like Corvette. You know how it goes for ANS.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Everyone picks capitals, and you're just the one guy with Corvettes. So, just having these on the board as like, it's a 200-point capper, so it's not gonna like win any medals. But even though it's cheaped out a little places like Mark 61s, it's not got a whiplash. It does still check the box of being a capper, and it can step onto a point.
Right.
For about 211 points. That's
it
good.
Is very useful for your frontline fleets to also be able to do a little bit of that. I vibe with this. Honestly, for beam battleships, I kind of do prefer more support escorts for it, because it is a very... It's a very... it's a big investment to bring a beam battleship, and escorts help it stay alive longer and actually fulfill its goal. But honestly, you've got
I
everything.
think
You've
that
kind of got everything you need on this battleship. You have an illuminator for
yeah,
self-illum, flak, defenders.
bullseye, backup antenna, comms jam, size 2
Yeah,
launcher,
no, this, and then all of the
launchers.
anti-craft missiles as well. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
This battleship can probably be a pretty effective independent ship.
Only thing I'd say is like maybe a few more active decoys instead of the breadsticks, but
Uh,
you
yeah,
know,
I would
4 is
also say
decent.
4 is decent.
Yeah.
I would also say that as well, considering that you do have the S3Hs in here as well.
Hmm.
Breadsticks may
True.
that many breadsticks may not be necessary, considering how much anti-craft you already have with the spears and also the beams if you're using
Yeah.
those.
So
But
wait, hang on. I just looked at the damage here, right? Component, blast radius. So if you got like container struck or torpedoed even, couldn't you just like Z target them with the spears and that fires defensive missile? Would that work?
it's set to defensive craft,
I
but PD
think that
controller would override it.
yeah, so I think you could
Armor is
just do that.
0.68. What's the armor of torpedoes then?
It's like 0.3 or something. It's not much.
Is it that? Is it only that?
Torps are 0.25. Yeah, you pen right through
Oh
those things,
my
no problem.
gosh. You can totally use these as anti-torpedo munitions.
Yep.
Oh no, that's a scary thought.
And if
Is-
containers come at you, you have beams, so you just battle short and click on them.
Is this how we counter containers? With fucking S3H AMMs? No,
Like I
no,
said,
no.
Pyrope was trying this 8 months ago or so, and I remember
Was
this.
Pyrope on to something?
Pyrope's always onto something. It's
Oh
just
my
scary, like when it ends up being the thing that we need in
Pyrope's,
the moment.
honestly, Pyrope's anti-torpedo AMMs are kind of a vibe. They do max warhead blast frag EL, and so they fire a bunch of them, and it damages all of them in the salvo because the explosion radius is so big, and then it just reduces their health so much that defenders can just one-shot them, and they can just clean up really quickly. And that's the tech. Because it does take like normally like a half a second of defender impact to actually kill a torpedo, but with the blast frag, but with the chewed up health bar from all of the AMMs that hit like every single torpedo in a salvo, like you can clean up salvos of like I've seen her clean up salvos of like 8 torpedoes with a single defender after getting them eaten up by the AMMs. It's kind of it's a little scary. Yeah, Pyrope has some really good anti-missile tech that seems like weird and strange.
Absolutely
and
deranged. Then
yeah,
it works, and,
then it just works.
Madness and genius.
And then it just works, and you're like, oh, okay then.
I like the beam battleship with the 2 cappers because I think like where you run a beam battleship, something like Tumbleweed, once you like do your beam stuff, you don't want to put the battleship on the point. So if you just have like a capper like kind of carrying on behind this thing, just step on the point after, that's really good.
You can get beam battleships for pretty cheap compared to gun ones, so having extra ships in the fleet is something you can do a lot more easily with compared to other battleship builds, I should say. The a lot of the points, you can see if we remove all the missiles, the point cost of this battleship goes down to like 2.2k, 2.3k.
Yeah, that's about what you expect for a battleship of that style.
Right.
All right.
You can fit a lot in 700 points.
Okay, I gotta do an ad break intermission on my stream for about 3 minutes and stuff, so we'll wait for the next one there. But just one last anecdote. I still remember this. I was running, this was a while ago. It was me running 2 Acellos against Pyrope. She had her battleship, one of many. And I distinctly remember I was closing in. I was like getting the angle, like one of them bow tanks, the other works the flank. And then I got insta-stage size 3 hybrid Heckpeed from like one of the cheek mounts. And I just typed in chat, why do you have that?
Yeah, that's a Pyrope fleet.
Yep. I should have thought of it.
Pyrope will just inexplicably have the exact counter to everything you have, and the counter is like this weird, strange amalgamation of a bunch of different things, and it just works.
Yeah. We don't know why. All right. Like I said, I'm going to take a 3-minute intermission, so I'll be right back.
All right. We can still entertain my chat. I guess it's our chat, isn't it? I'm still here. I don't have the burden of ads. It looks like we got one more in your server before your submissions closed announcement. I'll monetize my stuff eventually, I think. My YouTube channel is actually getting pretty close to being monetizable, and I think I was going to make the decision then, once my YouTube channel becomes monetizable, I was going to make the decision then. But we shall see. Anyway, let me just go into Missile Designer. Click on this one. Nope, that's the wrong. There we go. I will take that missile, thank you. Alright, what do we have on this? Where can I fit those? TLDR women and never scary. Yeah. Oh, I have double whiplash on mine. I did not know that. I thought I had a dragonfly. Yeah, you can see the ratio of my large to reinforced is completely opposite of that last one we looked at. I love my reinforced DC on things. I love being able to just absorb damage for free. Put the parallax there, because then I put the micro reactor there so I can bow tank. But yeah, so my beam battleship fleet, pretty similar build to the other one in terms of the actual like battleship. I do have a lot of reinforced DC compared to large for surviving missile strikes and also surviving damage, just general impact stuff. I am double whiplashing this instead of a whiplash dragonfly, but that's mostly because I want to close the distance as much as possible. My anti-craft is mostly just SDM spam, and also I'm relying very heavily on my beams to deal with like bombers and stuff. With enough SDMs, you can actually get through bombers pretty reliably. But you do need to expend a lot of them, which is what the beams are for. The escort is... This escort is mostly just a self-illume plus chaff helper creature. It's reinforced. This escort has done really strange things where it simply just attracts a bunch of ARAD Val missiles away from my battleship because it does have a radar on it. So this is my... If things go really badly for me, this is my really big active decoy. And then the other escort is a spy corv I put like in the same... Shut up, remove the chaff. No. Why would I remove the chaff from this? I can't tell if you're joking or not. If I should remove the chaff from this thing. Anyway, and then the last one, yeah, like the last one, it's a spy corv. I put it on the same flank as the beam battleship. While the beam battleship can like hide behind cover and stay hidden, the spy corv will give intel. Remove the chaff from the battleship. Now I know you're joking.
All right, I just sat back down from intermission, and I heard somebody yelling, "Remove the chaff." What are they making you do?
I'm showing off my beam battleship to give a comparison about what I like compared to the other one.
Ah, okay.
And they're telling me to remove the chaff from my battleship, which seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, I think these are missileers who are trying to like lure you into a.
Oh, I see.
Like,
yeah,
it's like dangling a carrot like at the end of an alleyway, right? It's like, come here.
Yeah.
Little
How many of you are missile players? Oh, hang on. Before we go into the next fleet, I want to show you a sneak peek at Big Milk, but I stole it. Hey, look!
There's a reminder.
Hey, look! I stole Big Milk. Big Milk has been stolen. Anyway.
Sentences that make sense in the nebulous community.
It's a milked world out there.
Okay.
I don't.
Why do you remember the exact screenshot that I was looking for? Because I have that somewhere on my hard drive.
Because I did a match with Pyrope last night where I brought my variant of Big Milk, and she directly quoted her little post. It's a milked world.
Where is that picture capture?
It's such an incredible quote.
The best part is like Liz went on later is like, I don't remember saying that. Yeah, here we go. Oop.
Wait,
Okay,
was
woo.
this?
Once.
Oh, wow, okay, we have a
I
raid.
just got
Hello.
raided. Okay, so this is
Yeah, you deal with the raid.
Brilliant timing.
Wait, how
Hello,
come...
Kit Kat. Thank you for the raid. I'm here with Scapegoat today. You just joined to the Milk or Be Milk battle space.
Yeah,
just now.
welcome.
That's the quote.
Yeah, it's a milk or be milked world out there, and today, with this ship, we are the milkers.
Alright. I got a bunch of follows here as well. Sweetbrin, Lyra the Trash Panda, Pump on the Jive, I think I'm saying that right. Thank you all for the follows. Make sure you give a follow to Scape as well. They're fellow content creator here with me and cool dude in general. Silverwind VTuber as well. Thanks for that. So you can see them. Click the little button that follows Scape as well. They deserve it. Because we are experiencing fleets right now.
We
what is it?
don't worry about the milk. It's fine. It's normal. This is normal. Trust us.
I hate that this is normal.
This is this is just Neb. Neb is just like this. Sometimes don't worry about it.
Anyways,
yeah. I think we're on to the
Kit Kat?
next.
I hope you were having fun. Pull up a chair, join the stream. We were just about to review one last fleet from mine and then get into your server's submissions, right?
Yes. I think
Okay.
the last one before use close submissions was Cookies the Creature.
No.
Oh, it's a cookie fleet.
Yep.
Here we go. Oh, it's a... Oh. I was gonna say it was a fleet carrier, but then...
I think I got killed by this yesterday. Yep, hang on.
No.
Gotta move the Milk or Be Milk quote off the screen. Yep.
If you remove milk from Big Milk, you get Task Force Oak. Thank you, HIMARS.
Yep. If people ever wonder, it's like, what is the Neb streamer experience? Yeah. Milk erasure. Oh no.
No. Okay. Well, this is the creature. Oh God.
Yep.
I
think I'm best qualified to explain this one.
It's Sarh Alum Pikes.
Yeah.
No.
I remember talking about how the pikes are really good tech that you can put onto the container liner. This is the old container liner, actually, looking at it, because Tasty addicted to the old version of it.
Oh,
but
no.
what's really good is to get a pair of pikes, because you can get the illuminator pods on them and quickly flash onto a target there with 6-kilometer range. And it's a really narrow beam, so you avoid chaff clouds really well.
Wait, is it a direct CLN? Oh, it's a direct. No. It's direct.
Oh, this is the direct.
It's all direct.
Okay, yeah, so this is okay. This is a build that does either 0 damage or 50k, and there's no in between.
No, yeah, there are beam battleship, container liner, direct container liner. Yeah, you'll either kill the entire enemy team or do nothing and die. There is no in between.
Yeah, that's. Pike Illum is laser target designator. Yep. These have the 2 types of pikes. One of them has the EO targeting ball, which lets you quickly. This is actually really powerful as a tech. I want to show this off just by duplicating a container liner here real quick. So the default Moorline container liner nowadays, you get the 4 big banks. The 2 smaller ones you can take mounted hangers on, and then take an internal hanger bank or something, and that gets you the space you want.
Wait, where are
you can carry
Is this the old?
Yeah, that's the old hull, because some people like the classic better. The mounting locations for things like point defense.
Oh yeah, that is true. The point defense is different. I've seen a lot of people say that the point defense is better on the old one, which it probably is. Yeah, you have these 2 side ones as well. Yeah.
The side ones is specifically for the illuminator locations there, because you can get the right angling anywhere you point them. So.
Okay, I vibe with that.
Yeah, so it's a specific thing, but whether it's the old or the new hull, you can get pikes, which are really good. I like the new hull because you can get the internal hanger and carry 11 or 10 pikes if you want. You run them in pairs because you launch them from the small hanger mounts, and they're really fast to arm. So you just get these EO designators to mark targets for your gun line, or you can just check enemy point defense with visual. So it's really powerful. But with this one, you get a whole hanger bank here. So you've just got a couple of other utility assets. They've got some of the internal radar skiffs, so they can scatter on the map. They've got the EO ball with 2 pikes, so you can check PD. And there's the regular pikes, so you just grab a pair of them and illuminate targets. So.
All right. Well, I'm taking a look at the containers.
Yep.
I don't. What are these names? Bottom Homer, topical woke. What are these?
Yeah, these.
Massive
I hate that this is like
AMM.
my community showing
Massive
off their mini
AMM?
scheme, but
Massive AMM.
yeah, they're blast
I
frags.
vibe with this. I vibe. What's the blast radius on
244 meters.
Oh no. This
Oh, no,
pin's
indeed.
a
Hey,
full
so-
centimeter of armor. Oh my god. How did you do? What the fuck? Oh
Just
no.
yep, it's a size 9 blast frag warhead.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. The torpedo wall thickness is more than the container wall thickness? I thought it was the other way around. I didn't know that. Okay.
No, containers are actually a little more fragile than you think, but
Interesting. Well, yeah, they're more fragile. They're massive targets for everything.
sure. Well, I meant just for wall thickness.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, that is true. Okay.
Anti-torp containers? Yeah, that could be true. They have the pen and damage to one-shot torpedoes.
Yeah, we're going back to this whole discussion about the fucking anti-torpedoing container AMMs, where you can just put a big enough blast frag thing on something.
It's like, somebody spent like 100 hours configuring the most specific missile to get past
my
the
gosh.
AMM.
Yeah,
perfectly
welcome-
seduce the incoming Auroras. And
Didn't-
just somebody throws a fucking explosive brick at you. It's like, okay, parry this.
Who wrote an actual paper on optimizing SDM engine configurations? Who was that? I forgot their name. Oh, it was MathBlob. Okay, yeah. They wrote. Yeah. I have that. They wrote a goddamn research paper on optimizing engine configurations for SDMs.
The SDM2s, yeah.
Yeah, it's an actual like report as well, like in the proper formatting and everything. I would know. I have to write those for school.
Yeah, I had MathBlob on my channel at one point do a guest lecture,
you
and
did
I was
have
like,
the.
okay, you know what you're talking about. And this was when carriers had just launched, so.
How did they? Okay, insanity, actual
Yes.
insanity.
Make STM3, make it ANS only. Dragon Better, that's called a size 3 hybrid blast frag. They exist.
Oh, I saw a guy launching blast frag torpedoes at enemy craft the other day.
That sounds about right. There's times where it's just like, I can't be bothered. Have a torpedo.
It didn't really work because they're so slow that they just get shot down before they get anywhere close with the 20mm. Do you still have the link to that report? I believe I have it saved on my computer somewhere.
Yeah. Find it sometime or other.
I can post it somewhere. It exists somewhere. I know that.
Chris boosted.
Isn't it on Steam? Yeah, I think Steam community page. I think it's located
there's a guide
somewhere
for
there.
It. That sounds right.
If you can't find it, it was a Google Doc. Okay. If you can't find it by the end of this stream, I'll just DM it to you if I can find it. So I would need to search through my files, which is not something I really want to do right now.
Alright, so I'm looking at the stats here. Container data link here has got 2 of them, so it's salvo size of 10.
Oh, wait, 2 data links? You can do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the whole point of the data link array. But, yeah.
I'm not a CLM player. I don't know. I don't know
You know
the
what?
tech.
Fair enough.
I don't understand.
I'll explain that for anyone who's wondering. So it used to be you had to get a whole bunch of programming buses and strike planning centers. So what they did instead was they boxed those into one for the OSP side. Container data link array is this big compartment now, similar to the Citadel Mag or the what's the other big ones like the internal hangars and stuff like that. So now these add programming channels in speed. So if you want to go with like your different salvo size, you can add them. Some people like salvo size 6 without the buffs. Some people like to go the full buyout and get salvo size 12. It's your choice, however many you want. Yeah, the hull also used to be more expensive, but they changed the hull prices with the reworking carrier related things. So no longer as expensive, but more the prices in the data link array, which costs 200 points a pop. So
The only time I've played a CLN is when one of my teammates disconnected and gave me a CLN that they were playing, and it was the most miserable experience I've ever had in a game.
Was it a Falk Tethys Drive Yard?
No,
missile
it was
build?
not. It was some random...
Okay.
Well, if it was a Tethys build, I would have understood it, and I would have done better with it, but it was some... It was
Are
like
you sure?
a random...
I remember your fleet review of their missile
Okay,
thing. It's like, well,
you know,
this
hey,
is why I regret the missile
hang on.
editor.
Their missile... They may have infinite missile types in their loadout, but I understand what they do.
Okay.
But, like, Getting a like a missile fleet off of like a disconnect is such a bad time. It's like all of the missile names are just completely insane to you. You have no idea what anything
Yep.
means, and you're just like, what do I do? What is this thing? How do
I think I inherited like it was a missile expert at one point, and I
Oh
looked
no.
at the list. And it was like, okay, here's like Grummers, Troggers. I'm like, what do these missile names mean? How do you
Yeah.
mix these salvos?
Yeah, it do be like that. My missile tech is normally very simple in comparison to what a
Yeah.
lot of people bring. This thing has a huntress on it.
Yeah, I noticed that because it wants a radar so it can point the illuminators at the right target. And I mean, as long as you got the power right with the booster
Right.
reactor, you might as well.
Kind of based. We're also doing bow
Yeah.
tanking because it is a direct CLN. The side illuminators, I see why you like these. These get really good arcs if you're bow on.
Yeah. You could possibly double illuminate with the with the
Right.
depression of
I
5
think the
degrees.
illuminators
Yeah.
on the CLN itself are more backups in case the craft strat doesn't work.
Mhm.
And also
But
a
it's
lot
still
of
nice to have.
Oh no, they're star primary. They're star primary. I thought that was act primary on these containers for some reason. Oh, I was looking at the AMM. Never mind.
Yeah. So it's worth noting, if you look at the radiated power of the illuminators on the pikes, it's only 50 kilowatts. Compare that to the lighthouse illuminator, which is 900 kilowatts. There's a significant difference in power there.
Yeah, that is true. But honestly, the narrow cone you get with pike illuminators is very useful.
Great for painting the target. Just have to watch out for
Top or
jamming.
bottom is the position of the containers and the Homer of Woke or Hodge or Wake. Oh, I see. Okay, I get the names now.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah, 'cause you
and
want the
that's
different
and
names
that's
there. Okay.
top, bottom. Okay,
Tropical,
I see.
bottom.
Yeah, because then there's a lot
Okay.
of times missile designers will name their missiles things that they understand and relate to the what's actually in the missile, but like if you get the fleet and don't know what the scheme means, you can't decode.
You got no idea, Chief.
It's like trying to crack like a encrypted communication.
The numbers,
like,
Mason, what do they mean?
What does this mean? Bottom decoy acceptance is bottom decoy acceptance is quite the name for a missile. I kind of love it. Topical decoy ignorance.
Yeah, these are hot launch direct X out. A couple of them are cold.
Okay, like I get now that you've pointed out, I get what they mean. They're also they're named in really funny ways too. I like these.
Yeah.
The topical
So if we
woke
filter it down, right, it's
is
basically there's a decoy container and then there's like 2 of the other type, really.
right. Couple decoys of 2 different secret configs and 2 actual missiles that go after something with different secret configs as well. So yeah, mixed salvos.
I think it's validated accept versus reject. Validated acceptance or I'm not sure. Hang on. I think these might be named wrong because like there's one that says like decoy ignorance or acceptance, and I'm not seeing a difference between
Well,
them
acceptance
for
and
the unvalidated.
ignorance, except they have different secret configs. One of them has Hodge, and the other one has Wake. Or no, the other one has... Is that Therm or Wake? That's Therm. Okay.
Okay. I'm just not seeing the unvalidated target accept thing, which is what I was thinking it would be.
These containers are
Also-
positionally dependent. I see. Oh, I see. They're launched from different racks, and so they're further apart than others. I'm assuming their engine configurations are tuned for that, then? Are we going that far into missile tech that we've tuned the engines differently depending on where they are on the launchers?
I can tell you right now, yeah, people do that.
No, engines seem identical. I'm not seeing any difference.
Yeah, I think these all duped, but I do know people. Oh wait, hang on. The topical. Okay, yeah. So the decoy ones they're set to 248 versus the other ones, the more plentiful, they're set to 250. Okay, so there's a little
speed.
difference there.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
oh,
the
yeah. Okay,
speed
there's
is
a little bit of
different.
speed difference. Sorry, I was looking at the actual munition containers that had different. They have the same speed.
Yeah. Decoys need to cover front and back. Yeah, because you want to shed decoys constantly with the way these work.
Yeah.
So
Okay. No. I see
you try and
that.
get one in the front and one in the back. That checks out.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Well, Anything else you want to say
Yep.
about this fleet, or is that kind of...
One last thing I need to do, because I had a
Oh.
King of the Castle stream. I just have to rename the ship here.
Oh.
Congratulations, Tasty. You're no longer the creature. You're now the preacher, because you got made Bishop of the North. Have fun with that, buddy.
Oh, I need to catch one of your King of the Castle streams.
Yeah,
Those are
they're
really
great fun. I'd love to have you on.
Yeah,
board,
with the
so.
Discord integration, I would love to kind of tag along.
I
Not Discord,
Escape.
Twitch integration. What am I doing?
Yeah, sorry, Escape. Somebody just used the name a thing redeem on my channel. They're asking to rename it to Skibbity Sigma.
I see that.
No, rejected.
Ah!
Channel points back. Yeah. You speak Arad. Yeah, all right. Skull reaction.
I
yeah,
paid
you got your money back. Here's your refund.
Refunded. We have the right to deny service.
All right.
No. All right.
That's the last of my communities. Then let's start at yours. I've only got about 30 minutes. But...
Do you have so all right? Before we go, do you want to look at the one I sent you first?
You know what? I should. Also, Random Hero R17. Thanks for the follow. That's the last review. Let's take a look. What has Escape sent me?
Yeah, thank you,
What is
Random
Trick
Hero.
Boss?
I wonder what this fleet could be. Do I have it? I have it in imports, I think. Ignore all of these strange other fleets I have in here. Ah, here we go. Beautiful.
It's what I expected.
There may or may not be a video sometime next week where things happen with this fleet. This was sent in by Bibley? I'm pronouncing their name wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if you're watching. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Oh no.
You forgot.
Horrible.
Where the heck is that old fleet? Hang on.
Was posted in Shipyard on the main Neb server for a moment last night. But effectively the idea behind this this fleet is that it's 3 pit bosses. Also, do you like the chaff boxes on these to get up to...
I noticed the chaff boxes, and I took one away. That's just to hit 40% damage reduction.
Yes. That was clarified when they sent me this fleet. That's how it works. Also, these things are double-drived.
So
they have 2 rapids and 2 smalls per.
Okay.
And have 2 ammunition elevators. Like, these are actually not the worst Axfords.
So, okay, the funny thing is, like, you mentioned all that. I think about it. It's still an Axford. It has the maximum damage reduction. It has damage control teams. Like, it's cheap as hell, but, like,
the load-bearing...
you have to shoot it.
The load-bearing chaff box.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna send you an old, outdated fleet file then that you will in turn have to take a look at.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Just an excuse for us to send each other.
Thing
No, they're not. I'm curious to see if you can notice the difference between them because the person playing this in the match we did forgot that they were different and was noticing the differences in real time in the match, and it was really silly.
All right, one is a workshop and a parallax. Interesting. Okay.
All right, where I put this in fleet review, you sent me. I think I've seen this fleet.
Yeah, I think you've seen it before. It's an old meme that I did, but.
Did I put it in? I put it in imports. I put it in the wrong folder. Rip.
Whoops.
Whatever. Still counts.
These two.
Oh God, yeah, I remember this one. Oh, it's.
Want to take a peek at that one, or
it's 200.
Oh, spyglass. Okay, it's the radars. Gotcha.
It's 200 points over.
All right, so I have to show the old archive here of cheese fleets. Where is it?
These information.
Yes.
Oh my God.
The Meowchinut line. I thought
I've
way
seen
back,
this
like,
one.
yeah.
I've seen this one before. No restores.
Yep. A long time ago, C90 monitors were really good, and people were complaining about them. So I thought to myself, just after a very 3 a.m. session of building things at night,
oh no!
what if I just made like a C90 monitor for as cheap as possible, and then saw how many I could get?
Oh.
So I made 9 of them.
Do they have any buff modules at all?
Nope.
No. 3 rapids. Why does this one have 100? Wait, they have huntresses? Oh wait, no.
One's got a radar and a pinpoint.
Huntress and oh my gosh, this is a lot more thought. Reinforced drive as well. Okay.
Yep.
This is...
Specifically just because I wanted this to be a reinforced annoying brick to kill at the end.
I can't believe
So I want
this.
that fleet file. I'm going to post it.
This is
I'll throw this into my
200. This is
Dropbox.
200 points over, by the way, because of C90 changes.
Okay. Yes, that's the other thing. So, when I had made this thing, right? This was before C90s got their price hike. So they were still 40 points. I don't want to say that I was part of the reason why the C90 got a price hike, but
Oh, Leviathan sent me another XML file instead of a fleet file because they exported it through their Steam Deck. We love Steam Deck gaming.
That's the other insanity. It's like somebody plays Neb on a Stream Deck and like
And then they play
a Steam Deck, not a Stream Deck.
And then they
Different.
decide to play like carriers and cap fleets, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why are you?
The problem is they're good at it too.
Imagine they're like the best player in the game, but they had to nerf themselves by playing on a Steam Deck.
It's like in Dragon Ball where Goku wears the weighted clothing, right?
All right. I think we're on to my server for the reviews.
Yeah.
What do we start with?
I got a little time left to do a bit more of that. Let's
We
take
can
a
start
look
with
at your
the
servers,
Quack
Nisha.
Hotel, which was sent in by Duke.
Yeah, give me a sec. There's that one. The Quack Hotel.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay. Ah.
All right.
The Quack Hotel is the name of the Axford. Is a 1.5k Axford.
Okay.
Parallax, one large, one reinforced. Is this triple raider? No, it's double raider whip.
Raider whip. No, 2 raiders and a whip. Okay, so. Do that.
So we're putting a lot of points into buffing, like 5 DC teams. I see workshops, and I think there's a central in here.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points into buffing, not a lot of damage control. I would definitely probably replace the workshop with another DC locker.
Yeah. I can understand like wanting to buff it, but for 20 points you could get a small team, which I think is the same, if not more, damage control.
It is. We also have fire suppression in here as well. So we have 3 individual things buffing your limited DC, which is, I mean, it's a choice. And with the double raider, you can theoretically orbit dodge enough to avoid most incoming fire, but
yeah,
I would definitely invest more in actual DC and teams.
I think I'm with you on that. It does need just a little bit more teams. Like the buffs are good, but just you'll have so many modules getting damaged that you'll need extra teams. Like especially with the reinforced things, like you'll want to repair them.
The triple axe fleet had more DC teams per axe. Did it? Because that was 2 smalls and 2 rapids. Would that be more? I think that would be more.
2 smalls, 2 rapids. Yeah, that's 6 teams. Huh. So I just looked at chat again. Tasty's a trackpad player. You container people on a trackpad?
Oh no. I know every single
wrong
time
with you?
Tasty posts like screenshots in your server of their results, and the quality is like it's really bad. It's honestly, I think you get better quality like pulling out a camera and taking a photo of your screen than taking a screenshot. I run on Mac too. How did you get this game working on a Mac? How?
This is gonna have like just these like, oh hey, here's a player survey. Like, what's your inputs in your hardware? And they're just gonna be like these outliers from my community. I'm gonna have to explain.
Gosh, this is our communities are normal.
Wine works. Wine works. I mean, good for wine, I guess.
God, it works on
I'll need
Linux.
a bottle of it after this.
I knew it worked on Linux. Mac running games on Mac is very difficult because of the operating system. The operating system is very funky, and I'm very impressed that this game is able to run on a Mac. Anyway, so
Black Hotel's the Axford. What are these?
We have
CLs?
less.
These are 750 point CLs.
Oh, I didn't even look at these. Oh God, what do we have? 4 ammunition elevators. A small. Do these have more DC teams than the Axford?
4 teams.
Okay, no, you have what? Wow, whoop-de-doo, one extra team in the Axford.
Yep.
We're not even putting good drives on these CLs. That's just a regular standard drive.
They can't afford them. It's just
No.
750 points for it. Oh.
Frontline radar. Oh, this.
Okay. To their credit, 4 ammo elevators across 5 guns is actually pretty good.
Okay, I've
DPS
also
for
noticed
CL.
that we don't have any point defense on these CLs either.
Oh god, I just looked at that. So this is like half of a CL basically.
Yeah, with these two CLs combined, you have one full CL, and you still don't have fucking point defense.
Well, actually, no. See, I figured it out. So what they do here is, if one of them gets missiled, then the other ones will survive. That's how they do it.
This is yeah, okay, so you have limited DC. You can't orbit dodge with the standard. Well, you can, but not as effectively.
Yes, but because CLs got buffed last time with their 90% linear thrust stat now for strafing.
Yeah, I think after looking at this, I just have to say buff CL. Like,
yep, this seems like a buff CL moment.
Yeah. So we've got 3. You've cringed the CLs to fit the Axford, but the issue is that the Axford has seemingly also been cringed to fit the CLs.
It's weird because like 1,500 point Axfords, that
should be
normal price.
Yeah, where did your points go into this Axford? What happened here?
Stonewalls are a little expensive at 40 points, I guess, but
He's got 57 seconds of flak firing time on those Stonewalls.
Where's that?
Where are the points? How did this happen? Is all the points into like the buffing stuff for damage control?
Huh. Dual magged, there's okay, only 600 like rounds of flak is kind of light.
Double mag could be it. Wait,
microreactors, triple drive, that's fine.
Why are you double? You're double magging with 57 seconds of flak. That's definitely a choice.
I don't think that double mag is.
I don't think it's the point
necessarily.
I would probably just do a single bulk in compartment 4 if you're running a 1.5k.
You can do that, yeah. I was a little nervous about single bulk on like a single Axford, right? I feel like it's a little tight with the budget because you're paying for Stonewall, you're paying for the interrupt jammer, you're trying to double mag as well, and like trying to get everything else, and it's just like barely not there.
We have floodlights, we have interruption.
Yeah.
We have anything in the chaff box that's anything special? No, just chaff and
it's
flares.
Like decoys.
It is also triple drived. Yes, we do have to consider that. That is also probably where a lot of the points are going. Honestly, though, for like a triple, sorry, not a triple drive, a 1.5k Axford, I feel like this is not a lot of stuff.
Yeah. It's just a lot to try and fit into one, like getting the Illuminator and the interrupt, like for power and stuff. The Stonewalls add-on.
Yeah, we can look at the points breakdown.
Faster, yeah.
Too
much large. There's not even like there's one large DC. That's not too
much. Damage control and defenses are the big ones at 11% for defenses and 10% for damage control. Yeah, the thing is that you're paying a lot of points to buff damage control teams that you don't have.
Yeah. No DC, only flak.
Only flak.
I mean, There's also part of me that wonders, right? Like
a large and a reinforced DC in this thing, and then they're being buffed by literally every single thing that can buff DC. I don't.
Okay, hear me out on this, right? So, Stonewalls are good. We know that,
right?
But rebounds, it almost makes me tempted to try running them because they did just get buffed.
That is true. You still get what's your RPM comparison?
Still get like 15 rounds of flak, which is enough for a couple.
You get 100. It's about 260 compared to 170. So you definitely get more RPM out of the Stonewalls.
That's the other thing too, right? For Stonewall, like Stonewall is better for like mass missile, like a whole bunch of size 2s.
Yeah, Stonewalls, because another thing you have to consider is that reload time. Rebounds are going to fire their entire magazine really quickly and then go into a long reload cycle, where Stonewalls are more consistent and
yeah, they get like a 100 round belt or something.
Not 100. Is it 100?
No, that's
It's a
the
16.
bastions I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
They get, but it's a really quick reload time for
Hmm.
a large armor loader.
Yeah.
So stonewalls are going to be like consistent damage output against swarms, whereas rebounds are mostly just going to be fire a big salvo and then go silent for a while.
This looks wrong. I swear the Stonewall had a bigger belt than that. Like, it, didn't it? Or because it's quad barrel or something? What the heck? Weird.
16 compared to, oh, rebound has 15. Actually, yeah, 16 seems really low for the
That
stonewall.
seems odd.
I could have sworn it was definitely
Like,
a
it was
bit more
more.
than
You
that,
see them fire for longer.
Anyway,
Um,
yeah, changes to this fleet. Get rid of one of the CLs. Like, I understand the vibe of having a bunch of damage output with these CLs, but I would probably remove one of them, build the other one actually survivable, put some more stuff maybe into the Axford, and then maybe spend some leftover points on like an escort for the Voxel. Maybe some
what
jamming.
I think you got the right idea there. I think you put a little more points into the Axford, and then you still have enough left over for a decent Vauxhall and give it like a little Corvette with some EWAR stuff to go along with. Because you can't quite fit everything you want onto the Vauxhall itself. So,
Huh.
have,
Yeah,
like, I don't know, like a floodlight and a jammer or two on a little Corvette to go with, so it's fast.
it's a very cringed fleet, but I think it's too cringed. I don't think these ships are going to be as
Yeah.
effective as you would need them to be.
It's just trying a little too. It's trying to do too much with the budget. Like, if you had an extra like 100 or 200 points, it would be incredible, but just a
Right.
little too much to fit.
Yeah. No, I am definitely not a big fan of overbuffing a low amount of DC teams. I feel like you get more effectiveness out of having more DC teams than buffing them more.
Replacing like even just one of like the workshop or the central with
I would
a small
definitely
locker gets you 7 teams instead of 5.
I would definitely replace the workshop with another DC locker.
I like the central because it's nice to have. It's a
Both
buff module,
move.
200 hit points, 35 threshold.
Yeah,
and
the damage
size of
control
the Axford
central
big.
is very survivable for some reason, which is a very useful thing to have. Yeah, we want to move on.
Yeah, just reading chat for a second. Leviathan saying they played the all hands on deck tournament in bed. Just okay. Weird dev flex, but all right.
You may be winning,
right.
but are you comfy? Didn't think so.
True.
All right.
All right. What's our next submission then?
Up next, I think we have Sammy's Torpsiel's fleet.
Yep. Well, we saw these things earlier as I previewed them. What do we got?
I want to get rid of the Quack Hotel forever. Oh, look, it's 2 Torpsiels. Who could have guessed? Not me. Okay.
Right.
That's a lot of different types of torps on these things. What's our salvo size? Salvo size of 5?
It's not just torps.
Oh.
There is.
Wait,
why did you make a size 3 Heck P with an annoying orange reference? Who hurt you?
Okay. Well,
is that even max top
seals
speed?
are Raider Whip, supplementary radio amplifiers for getting the command through. Very nice. Frontline.
Ooh, yep.
How many of those are we running? Just one, or are we running multiple of the amplifiers?
Just
one.
Just one amp. That's enough to like mess with the thresholding a little bit with stuff like warblers.
Right.
So.
I may have been given an missile Acello fleet that's running like 3 amplifiers.
I've seen one with 5. So.
And it just straight up ignores comms jamming. It's really funny. Blanket jammer for getting your missiles through, very nice. An extra antenna for helping with your command, also very useful.
Actually, pause for a sec.
Yep.
Because it's such a rare module, I want to take a second to explain the supplementary radio amplifier.
Honestly, fair.
A lot of people forget this module exists. It's under the communications area, which is like the one module it has. This thing increases the transmit power of your antenna. So the way the comms jamming work is it generates the yellow comms jam bubble around the ship, and it tries to generate more noise than the signal going towards the missile. So if you can generate more noise, the signal loses its track guidance and stuff, so it just veers off or flies straight or whatever. But these radio amplifiers increase the transmitting power of your antennas. So if you buff up something like the CR75 on the, say, Acello or on a Axford, or the Solomon has one, but it basically doesn't because it gets shot by a single round and it disappears. So you can get some really interesting like thresholds where it's like you're able to overpower the enemy's jamming because you've buffed up your own antenna a little bit more. It's seldom seen, but when you get hit by command and you can't figure out why, it might be that.
I should also mention that the extra antenna that they've put on the fleet is a CR70, which has a lot more transmitting power than the default one on the Voxel.
It has a where does it? Oh, it does have an extra antenna on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have the stats because I don't have show hidden stat thing, but it is worth noting.
I don't either. I don't
know.
know.
Show antenna stats. It does. Here we go. So,
yeah, transmit power.
Okay. It's like double the
bandwidth.
power.
Yeah, it's
cool.
Yeah, very effective.
Right.
All right. So the CLs inside, we have 3 rapid and 3 small. Oh, that's actually fairly respectable damage control for a double missile CL fleet.
It's more damage control than the other ones we saw.
Yeah, I will take this damage control over the other ones any day. And I also should mention, just like the other one, that this does not have any point defense on it at all. I'm assuming this completely relies on being an ambush hunter and killing before it gets missile struck.
Yeah, I'm just gonna test something real quick because people wondering if it buffs the interrupt jammer. I don't believe that it does.
It shouldn't. I think it's just communications.
Yeah.
Interruption jammer.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to affect that
no.
at all. Right. Because transmit and radiated power are 2 different stats then. So
right.
There's your answer.
Okay. So we've got a sample size of 4. I wonder if we could be doing hot cold tech with this as well.
Ooh, that is true. Let's
we
check
should
the
take a
torps.
look. Yeah.
Hot launch, and hot launch.
Oh, no, all hot launch. Okay. So no, we're not doing hot cold tech. I guess with a salvo size of 5, that's you don't really need to do that.
Hot cold is also typically seen for corvettes,
which are limited by salvo size. Yeah. Well, 1 or 2 depending on if you take the buff or not. We have Command Haunch, Command Wake, and Command SAR H is... Command SAR H, I vibe with this, because what happens a lot of the time is the command will acquire the target from long range. The command will enter the bubble of comms jamming, but by the time that it's entered the bubble and you lose the command seeker, the missile is already close enough to the target that the SAR-H will just only acquire the ship instead of any chaff and just go for the ship.
Yeah, it just picks the closest illuminated thing there.
Yeah.
And with the spotlights on the shoulder we saw, that thing can just kind of paint target, point nose on, and strike.
Yep. Command SAR-H is a very powerful seeker combo that I'm surprised we don't see more often. It's very strong.
Yeah.
We're
looking
running
at the VLS as well for the finishers there. Like once you torp someone, those heck peas are these hot launch? No, they're cold launch. Okay, the cold launch cold gas. So these are really just meant to pop out and then instantly stab someone, which is nasty.
Right. We are. Are we running no terminals, which is good for HEKP. Cold gas bottle. 800, 3.5. This will stage at 2.9 kilometers from the target. Okay, that's fairly respectable. Yeah. And then we just max out the speed on the main stage. Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Yeah,
I love how
nice even whole numbers here, which I kind of like. Like
yeah,
they got exactly.
I kind of do that. I kind of do that too. But then also on the cruise stage on S3H, it decides to round to 999 and 002 all the time, and I don't know why it's those specific numbers, and it pisses me off to no end.
Yep. Honestly, though, some days I just crank the missile triangle all the way to the top. I'm like, I don't care about.
Yeah, honestly. 80% of S3H missiles cruise stage is just maxed out on top speed because you do not need a range of 40 kilometers on these at all.
There is the funny I've seen where like when carrier testing, or I say carrier testing, when carriers had just launched out of like the testing phase into public, where people just loaded up the longest range size 3 hybrid they could and like walked around pillars to the usual spot that people parked container liners.
It is worth mentioning, yeah, with the 2.9 kilometer stage, this will stage slightly in the range of Auroras, which might not be good. Although we're running commands, a red with cold gas bottle. I don't think these are really supposed to get through an Aurora up a cello. I think these are supposed to finish off a cellos that have been already damaged.
Gabe, I think you're missing something.
Okay, what am I missing?
There's 60 torpedoes to eat through Aurora's hit points before they have to hide.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm like, yeah, this isn't to turn off Auroras. missile anyway. It's a
This is a turn off the rest of the lights as we've torpedoed the ship.
that is true. Yeah. You can DT break with S3H HEKP.
Yep.
HEKP does not have the thing where it only can break so much damage threshold. It will just kill
The
things.
kinetic penetrator, I think it shows the damage for it. Yep. 232 component damage, so it spikes through stuff. So once you structure break somebody with the torpedoes, because let's be frank, you're gonna dump 60 torp in someone, you're gonna break them. This thing will just finish off any reinforced module holding on.
That is true. Yeah, so we got 2 of these things. I'm assuming they're independent hunters. You just put them in 2 different spots on the map, keep them hidden, keep them safe, and then you ambush things that get too close. Missile, the torpedoes, I'm assuming we're running mixed salvos. We have a salvo size of 5, so I'm assuming it's,
Did we? I thought it was 4. Hang on.
That's 5.
Oh, it is 5. You are correct.
Yeah, so we do... What are the numbers of torpedoes?
Oh, it's a bus array. I thought it was a regular bus. Looking at this, I'm guessing you fire...
1, 2, and 2, potentially?
Maybe,
I'm
Well,
assuming
if
it's...
it's
I'm
5,
assuming
it would
it's...
be like 20, 20, and 10, but I'm guessing they just
I'm
kinda mix
assuming
and
it's.
match
I'm
quickly.
assuming it's 1, 2, and 2, and then you have extra of the dash S's just in case you need to launch like just 1 at a target.
That would make a little more sense, yeah.
Because that's kind of what I do for my torp corps as well. I have a salvo size of technically 4 because I do hot cold tech with the salvo size 2,
Okay.
but I have an extra. I have 5 torpedoes total. I have an extra cold launch one just in case I need to salvo out
gotcha.
a single torpedo against like
Yeah.
a sprinter, not a sprinter, a shuttle or something, and then I still
Yeah.
have my salvo size intact.
Yeah, so, for anyone who's not familiar, I'll just show this off for the sprinters, because what we're talking about is a specific tech for generally like torpedo corvette play. You get the cantered launcher, and you get 2 types of missiles. I should just load up one of my fleets. Hang on. Where's coffee shop?
I have hot cold tech torpedoes I can load up too. I
Yeah,
can
so-
show along on my stream too.
A whole bunch of missiles here. But anyways, so what they are is you get a torpedo here, which is just your general, like, your torpedo of choice. It has cold launch, corkscrew, as they usually do. The specific tech is you fire this thing first, and then immediately after you queue up a hot launch torpedo. I have mine with cold gas and command because I like the cold gas to get them on target and helps them turn real fast there. But you don't need it technically, so you just have these 2 go out. Because the cold launch deploys first, the hot launch comes streaming out the tube. The 2 of them then kind of helix around each other at roughly the same speed, so you can get hopefully through Pavise as you strike with 2 missiles when you should only be able to do 1. So it's a cute little tech there.
Yeah. With a salvo size of 5 though, you don't really need to do that. You've got enough.
Yeah,
You've
with
got
that,
enough
you just
torpedo
hit them
output
with enough
anyway to
torp,
just.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And torpedoes program very fast, so you can fire 2 salvos back to back in very short order.
Let's see, programming time 3 seconds. Yep.
Yeah.
So you're just limited by launcher interval, really.
That is true. Do anything else you want to say about this fleet, or do we want to move on?
This would be a nasty sucker punch, so watch out for this thing hiding under rocks.
Yeah, very good ambush fleet.
I think I got time to hang on, let me check my schedule stuff. So I have an event thing in a couple of minutes I was supposed to go for, but
Well, if you don't have a lot of time, I
tell you what,
should
I will
warn you that the next
Yeah.
fleet is a carrier fleet.
oh god. All right.
We can
I
review.
think I
We
have
can.
a moment. Let's do one more.
All right. Do we want to do the carrier one? Because the carrier one might last a while. We can do it out of order because I know that there's Tethys's Axford fleet, I believe, is on the list.
All right. How about this? You pick the one you want to review, and I'll go with that one.
I see. Oh, I haven't been deleting these.
Whoop.
Oops. The creature. Get rid of the creature. Get out of here.
Be gone, preacher.
What do I have?
To move these into past
Double
submissions.
double CH. Okay, yep. All of these are correct. Let's do Tethys's fleet. I love a good Tethys fleet.
All right. What's that one called?
Flak maxing is dead. Long live Flak max.
Okay.
That is a Tethys fleet name.
Yep. Throw back to when containers got chopped down by flak.
All right, it's double Axford fleet.
Yep.
I should.
Task Force Oak
This
makeover.
is Will of Iron and Strength of Steel. This was Tethys's RCC rebound maxing fleet before the
see.
changes to RCCs and rebounds. I'm still noticing quite a lot of flak on these.
Yeah.
Or at least on the first one. Okay, so they're slightly different.
Defenders,
The
stone
first
walls,
one
and rebounds.
has a lot of flak and good point defense, and then the other one sacrifices a bit of it for some Mark 61s. And a hanger
Okay.
backpack. Okay.
Hanger backpack with a pair of Tontos, which are coil
They're
gun.
coil
Okay,
ones, I
with
think. Yeah.
an SGM2 in there. Okay.
Interesting. All right, so we're running Raider Whip on both of these. Damage control, pretty standard. Reinforced large, 3 rapid.
Yeah.
And then the other one just has more for some
AC.
reason. What? Reinforced a small, a large, and 4 rapids? That's a lot of rapid DC in these.
Guess you gotta save points somewhere then. Yeah. All right.
Probably.
It is. I mean, I can understand it's a little stretch because like you're getting a Tanto backpack, and then the first one you've got the Mark 66, which is next to 45 points on there.
Right.
So, ooh, it's also quad track correlated spyglass in the first one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. So.
Ooh, it is. I didn't even notice that. I should have known that. I've played this fleet with Tethys before. Or rather, they've played it with me in the same game. I don't know.
Oop,
Okay.
hang on, audio scuff.
Uh-oh.
Give me a sec. Just gotta whack this with a stick. There we are. That should hopefully work.
Did I become a robot for a second?
No, it's just I have an audio mixer problem because I haven't. OBS is messing with my audio stuff there.
I see.
Hopefully
Okay.
that's fixed right now. Confirm.
Still not good. I'm
Damn it.
still a robot.
All right, give me a sec.
I sound good to you, right, in the voice call? It's not a Discord
Yeah, you sound
problem?
fine to me.
Okay.
It's just making sure this works. Okay, trying that. How's that sound?
Any better? Testing. Okay.
Okay.
Looks like we're good. Okay.
That's an OBS issue that I'm dealing with. But anyways, audio.
Yeah, you had that issue the other day. I noticed that was very weird.
It's happened more frequently. I need to get around to fixing it because I'm just doing application capture stuff through OBS.
I see.
Sound
Okay.
mixing because I know the software.
You know, honestly fair. All right. So Will of Iron is quad TC spy. It's broadside as well compared to the other one and has some additional flak. And then the other one looks like it's built more. I should also notice, Will of
pause
Iron.
for a second.
Oh, yep.
Will of Iron. Look at it from the top. It's got some wacky asymmetry going for that broadside.
Yeah,
style.
we've got the interruption jammer. Oh, this thing has a single defender. I thought it was 2 defenders. No, this thing is really just. Wait, what?
A pair of them. It's
Wait,
got one on the shoulder and one on the front side where the comms jam was.
Tethys, why would you do this? What is this asymmetry? Are they in formation so that they present their like weak point defense side to each other?
Weird.
No, the other one's symmetrical.
Yeah.
In terms of its point defense, at least.
Where's this bullseye? Does it have one? Does that have a bullseye? Hang on.
The spyglass one is a bullseye. The other one just has an
parallax
illuminator.
doesn't. Interesting.
Well, I guess it can lock with the parallax. They run. I should also mention that they do run these. They're not in formation, but they do run these together in the same area.
Okay. All right. So one of them is like a broadside or a track correlator hang back, and then the other one is meant to be bow towards enemy with like the Tantos and then the Mark 61.
Yeah,
very supplementary.
Typically, when you see double Axfords, they're typically built to be relatively the same, but we have like 2 different archetypes for. Looks like we took 2 double Axford fleets and stuck them together.
Yeah, it's because you can do this. Just normally it's like you go all in onto either like bow tanking with double raider drives, play that 9-kilometer lock game and dodge.
Right.
Or you go for the full broadside with the track correlated spyglass and try and get like 14 barrels on the enemy.
I guess with the broadside one as well, you can just present only the side with the better point defense towards the enemy and hide the side with the single defender and interruption.
It's very reminiscent of AV8 days where you used to see a lot more broadside Axfords played that way. With like weak side. Yeah.
And then the other one is more standard, I guess. It does have the hanger backpack. It has the Mark 61s on the side for anti-light duty. Also, I think the Baowan one has better DC, I think.
Yeah, it's got the 11 teams versus the backliner, which is 8 teams. I kind of see how they're doing this now.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
So I have a backline one for spotting and fire support, and then the frontline one for damage absorption, and... Okay, I vibe with this. Alright, do we want to take a look at the... Let's take a look at the spacecraft. 2 coil Tontos.
Is just the Tantos,
with SDMs, jamming, and the sand shot. How many... Is it just 1 SDM per...
think so.
Yeah, all right.
Yep, just
Wow.
single loadout. There you go.
Whoop-de-doo. 2 whole SDMs? Wowee.
I'm gonna be honest, like, because those cost like what, 5 points? Let's find out.
It's 10
4
points,
Okay,
yeah.
so they're
Oh,
super
these are the
cheap,
4-point ones. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, whoa, Min Warhead.
I-
What is going
Huh.
on here? Is that enough to even kill a craft?
That is enough. Yeah, because
Is
craft
that just
have like
enough?
It's like 0.175 now. That does weird things for siege distance.
It's
but I guess
weird
that'll
because
work.
they can make the warhead much bigger without increasing the point cost. Huh.
Yeah. It's like if
I
we
don't know
pop
why
that
they've...
up,
I'm assuming this is to optimize the engine on the stage and make it more reliable at hitting.
somehow, I guess.
I have
Uh,
never seen an SDM built like this. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Interesting.
yeah. Wacky.
Wacky
Huh.
indeed.
Long
Huh.
range-
All right.
I'm gonna be honest. I would probably just ditch that SCM to upgrade like one of the rapid lockers into like a DC Central.
I would
to
also
buff
do that as
everything.
well. Tonto backpack is good. You've got coil Tontos, which is already a really powerful weapon to have. I don't think you really need the SDMs to supplement the coils.
Yeah.
You do also, you have the jamming pods on them as well, so you can do the tech where you use the jamming pods to attract ARAD away from your ship, which is something I've seen done before. It's a very powerful tactic. You can get an ARAD counter for very cheap. Honestly...
Also, there's the option of going illuminator pods, as I saw the other day, where somebody illuminated like my own chaff there, which was really cool. So
they do have a floodlight on the shoulder of the frontline Axford for potentially self-illum if they micro
Yeah.
it. So you can do
it's
it
a
with
little
that.
awkward with the angle because it's
Yeah, the chaff box is on the other
shoulder.
side, but theoretically, if you're like moving forward, back, or sideways, you can get that in arc. The illuminator, the illuminators will also partially fire through your ship, though. So
not with these
not with these
setup.
Oh yeah, you're right. The arc
you see, it's got the red lines, so it won't rotate.
Why can the belly mount then fire forward? Because I know that illuminators.
The belly mount, if you look at it, it's got the yellow dotted line,
Yellow.
which means it has
which means it has traverse. Yeah.
Yeah, versus the red line is limited for it. So
wacky. I love being able to fire things through the hull of my ship. Very awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, for people,
Gulf freighters that used to have pinpoints in the back
for people who
shoulders to
don't
shoot
know,
through the
that
hull.
you can put either bullseyes, illuminators, or jammers down here on Mount 9 on Axfords, and they can fire directly forward through the main gun.
Yep. It's a little goofy, but it's generally, from what I found, the best spot to put the bullseye.
Bullseye works really good. Yeah,
there.
I like bullseyes on the shoulders a lot because that belly mount makes
it's also nice.
Putting a defender on that belly mount is also a very good spot for a defender. It will save your life a lot. It has really good arcs there. It can cover your entire backside. But yeah, no, we have they're kind of, I guess they're kind of like two different roles that you would typically associate with a 450 Axford, but they're combined into one fleet. You've kind of got both. You've got the supporting one, and then you've got the actual damage output one.
My only concern is that, like, potentially, because you got them operating a bit distinct apart, one might be a little more vulnerable to, like, missile or craft, like, running
That
towards
is
it,
true. You are, with a double Axford fleet, they're usually close enough that they can support each other with point defense, but with this one, if you're running them too separated, you might not be able to do that. Pros and cons, I suppose.
It's interesting, if nothing else.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot different than you typically see double Axford fleets. Because, typically with double Axfords, you either do both of them bow on or both of them broadside. You typically don't mix and match like this.
Chat pointing out that bullseyes have cones, which is funny. Yeah, Star's correct. The bullseye, despite what many people think, is not actually just a point directly at enemy. It's actually a radar with a 20-degree cone, kind of similar to how the Bloodhound is. But it just isn't something that people commonly associate with that because they don't really get a visual on it.
Yeah, the game never gives you a indicator that it's a cone. It's simply you just click lock and the target suddenly has a different box around them.
Yeah. So if you think about it, because the beam width of the hang-up is actually the same 20 degrees, you're basically pointing a hang-up at the enemy. Yeah.
I didn't realize the bullseyes. I guess that makes sense because there are instances where I've seen like the bullseye start turning towards an enemy and it locks a lot sooner than it should. I guess that's the cone then, huh?
Yeah. It's just one of those things that you never really think about until somebody points it out. All right.
All right, well, I
Okay,
think
well,
that
that's
was
3 hours. I
your...
think that's
Yeah.
all I got for me today, then.
I've
So,
got a couple more fleets to go through really quickly, and I think...
alrighty. In that case, then, I'm just going to raid my viewership into yours. So let me just
Yippee!
do that. And then you
I've
can
got...
continue on.
According to my Discord thing, I've got one... Wait.
All
Yeah,
right.
wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go through. Okay. We can do
Alrighty.
these 5. Maybe I end with a game, and then, yeah. Not used to
And then you have to
streaming
go lie
on...
down after
Then
seeing
go
all the
lie
fleets.
down. Ah! I lost too much brain cells. I need sleep.
Understandable.
No,
All
no,
right.
no. These
Anyways,
fleets are
outros and stuff.
good.
Thanks for everyone who came out, followed. It's great doing these reviews with Scape here. I'm gonna pass you all off to him. I've been Neko Boy Blue. I'm gonna chill a little bit here. I've got my Discord server that you can check out, as well as my YouTube, where I've casted some Nebulous stuff.
Go follow
Scape,
him.
I'm gonna request you take a big sippy with me because I had that in the redeem queue.
Ah, yes, of course, of course.
Anyways, I'm gonna give a song to the people as a goodbye then. So, good night, everyone.
You cannot force me to do that.
I can't force you to do that.
No, you can't. I don't have redeems.
Yes, I
Doesn't
can.
work on me. Doesn't work.
Well, give it time. You'll get a VTuber avatar too. You're not immune to this.
It's... There's nothing that can be done. It's over. I can't escape the inevitable, can I?
Anyways, you have a good night, buddy. I've got to go do my stuff. I hope.
Yeah, of course.
review
Thank you
goes
for
well.
thank you for having me on for this co-op fleet review. This has been really fun.
Catch you when I do.
Yeah, of course. And suddenly, it was just me. Alright, so like I said, let's do some more of these fleet reviews, get through the rest of the ones we have for today, and then maybe we close it out with a match really quickly, and then I'll probably have to go after that, but... yeah, we should be able to get these through. Let's just do them in order the way we have them loaded on this folder here, so I don't forget which one I need to do. Where is my thing, so I know who sent them in. First up, we have Beloved Sillies. This was sent in by Hymars. I think I've seen this one before. Yep, Best Girl and Jonkler. Yep, these names are very Hymars Beamstone names. Destroyers are... one of them is more expensive. The Jonkler is more expensive. We will take a look at what's causing that later. Ox steering, nothing down there. Beam cannon, how many FPAs do we have? 2. Very nice to see. Bullseye on the back. The bullseye, just like the belly mount on Axford, still has arc to point forward. It's very fun tech you can do there. We have a blanket jammer on one side, defender on the other. We have a defender down here, and a rebound. Wow, we got a lot of point defense in this. Frontline, reactor booster. We have double CIC? We do. Interesting. It's our damage control. Large and small. All right, I vibe with that. Raider drive. Yeah, fairly standard stuff. I have noticed here that you have defender here and not there. I would probably, just a personal preference, move the defender over here so I've got full 360 degree of defender coverage, but I suppose if you put this in a good enough position, you can have 2 defenders covering 1 arc a lot of the time, which is also very nice. Chaff launcher with some chaff and some AMMs. We'll take a look at those later. Yeah, moving on. Jonkler is a bit more expensive. Why are you more expensive? That is a 32-point difference. We do not have... oh, it's swapping the, whoa, double jammer. How many FPs do you have? 2 still. How are you getting the power for this? What ritual... is that a plant control in here? No, it's not. How did you do this? What did you do? Small reactor booster. Dragonfly. Ah, there you go. Okay, that's why you have more power, because you have a Dragonfly. Bullseye on the back, double jammer, very nice. Defenders on the chin for a lot of anti-missile stuff. You are vulnerable on the top, so be careful. I would, yeah, just like I said with the other one, maybe I would move these defenders to be covering opposite arcs for just overall general coverage. But this works too. If you position this well enough, you can make sure that this bottom side is generally what's pointing to the enemy. But yeah, no, it's very interesting to see 2 beamstones and a single cat fleet be built slightly differently. But I guess on a lot of maps, that can be very helpful, because there are definitely positions on maps where you would probably want these to be built slightly differently. All right, anyway, moving on. We got some gun cappers here. Ox steering, basic CIC, small DC. All right, so some reinforced drive, nice to see. We got some on the cheaper side gunships here. You are affording the double barrels, which is very nice. Defender AMMs, chaff, and an arming missile, very nice to see. Looks like we have a couple of these gun cappers. We've got 4 of them. Wow, we got a lot of these. Here's something that's different. This is slightly different. Blanket lead. And blanket 2. Okay, and then we have a little battle group of gunships here with some jamming. So we've got independent hunters for just messing around the map, and then we have a more powerful gun battle group over here for potentially dealing with MMTs, I'm assuming is what this is supposed to be. I'm seeing a mix of flak and defenders. This time you can't afford to fill a BB with missiles, leaving the Axford or light cruisers holes. You can fit all the missiles. What are we talking? What is happening? What's happening here? What are we talking about? Is there a missile battleship build? I see. Yeah, missile battleship is kind of not what you want. A lot when you buy a battleship, you're paying for the hull. You're paying for the armor, and that's not really something you need on a missile build. So typically, if you're running like a combined missile frontline fleet, you typically do Axfords. Because Axfords, the hull costs less, you can have more missiles while also still being effective at frontline. Anyway, yeah. I have seen this fleet in action. HIMARS does really good with this fleet. These destroyers are very well built. Lots of cap assets too, which is really nice for an ANS cap fleet, because typically you have less assets to deal with than an OSP cap fleet does. So having a lot of these gun cappers, even though they're cheap, this is still pretty useful. You can be in multiple spots at once. Why do they have different letters? CC, DD, FF. Interesting. No, those aren't the call signs. Those are the names of the ships. Huh. I don't know what tech you're playing with these names, but I'm going to assume it means something. Anyway, yeah, I like this combined battle group here. I'm just going to assume this is meant for anti-MMT work, considering that we have the mix of rebounds, defenders, and also some jamming. I'm assuming this is supposed to just gun down MMTs, use the jamming to deal with their radar, because you're running, frontline compared to a Huntress. They're going to have longer range radar than you. They're going to detect you sooner, so you can use the jammer to help with that. You got good PD, so you can defeat their S2s, and you have a lot of gunpowder, so you can outgun them. Very nice to see. All right. I vibe with this fleet. Very nice build. Moving on, Cold Warulus is a double levy fleet sent in by, let me check really quickly because I forgot, Noik. This is a Noik fleet. Episode 11, Cold War and Showdown over the Bering Strait, sorry. Double levy fleet, each one is the same point cost. I'm assuming they're identical. We have flight deck traversal systems and a single deck gear locker per. Rapid DC for some ability to survive incoming fire. Okay. Alright. Fairly okay arming time on these. Spacecraft designer. Let's take a look at what we have. We have... That's a lot of craft. We have 12 bombers and a total of 56 Tontos. That's impressive. The 40 are coil Tontos. Okay, you have 40 coil Tontos in this fleet. The enemy carrier player is going to suffer. S1s and S2s on those torpedoes. The bombers, I'm assuming... What the... What happened here? Why do we have no loadouts for this? Why do we have no bomb loadouts for the bombers? What happened here? What's going on? Why do we not? We have no KBU-22s. Okay, well, I'm wondering, were there KBU-22 loadouts, or at least attempted KBU-22 loadouts on these is the question. Absolutely. Wait, no, because you have the frag bombs. What is going on here? Because I assumed this was like a not like a. No, because this wouldn't be. This fleet was made after the test, or after PTB changes were made. Okay, I guess we just have no KBU bombs now. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, back to the bombers that have... We're just going to ignore this loadout. Torpedoes, we'll take a look at these later. We have Act ARAD Val and Command SAR H? Ah, okay. So the SAR H backup on a command missile is so that if the command missile gets jammed, the command won't just fly off in a random direction. It will continue on a straight line. That's what the SAR H backup on command missiles are for. I see. It's probably updated for this patch and forgot to delete the KBU loadout. I have a feeling you're right with that. This is confounding me greatly, but it doesn't really affect the fleet all that much. You still got torp loadouts. You'll still be able to deal with heavy targets. Anyway, onto the Charybdis is your 20 mil S1 bomber here, or Tonto here, sorry. Fuel tanks, and all right, this is a bomb strike. We have KBU-15s, and then we have the fragmentation bomb loadout. So a very potent anti-light strike. You have a lot of bombs in here. FBUs are going to stun shuttles and tugboats, and the KBU-15s are going to deal a lot of damage to them if those hit. I'm assuming the idea here is maybe you go in with the FBUs and stun them, knock out their drives, and then you circle back around and then hit them with the KBU-15s. Okay. Up next, same loadout, but you replace the KBU-15s with jam pods. Fairly standard stuff. The jammers are going to help you deal with Pavises and point defense. Okay, very nice. Bombs, KBU-15s with the jammers. All right, so you have a little bit of, you have the ability to finish off some medium targets here with the KBU-15s. Very nice. Jam pods are going to help. Yeah, they're going to deal with any point defense that might be still online. It should be worth mentioning that bomb strikes against ships that have active point defense is likely not going to work. Because now that if KBUs get destroyed, any of these unguided bombs, if they get destroyed while on target, they explode and deal damage to any other bombs next to them. Which means that even like a single point defense weapon will be able to get through a bunch of bombs launched at it. We also have some anti-craft missiles. We have Crindshield Wake and Crindshield Act. The Act, I believe, fires first and forces the craft into defensive and high burn away, and then the Wake homes in on the high burn trail left by the evading craft, I think is the tech behind the Crindshield Act and Wake. Alright, so nice anti-craft loadout there. And then we have a loadout that's just the gun. Yep, very standard stuff. Sorties in 18 seconds. Very nice if you just need immediate craft in the air to go shoot something down. And then on to the star of the show, we have our Vortexes. These are 40 goddamn coil Tontos, and you still have points for SDMs. I don't know how you did this. All right, first loadout, fuel tanks, SDMs, and then the double Crindshield loadout. So a full anti-craft loadout here with the SDMs, and then your double Crindshield tech here. S replaces the extra S1s with jamming for defense, mostly probably against incoming SDMs, and also to help maybe get the SDMs to pen by jamming out the enemy. This just has fragmentation bombs and regular bombs. Okay, so these are like emergency, oh shit, I need something with bombs on it loadout. Okay. And then sortie with just the gun. Sorties in 15 seconds. Very nice to see. Just a quick get up in the air, I need to go shoot something down. Yep, very standard stuff. Missiles, let's take a look at these. How the fuck did you fit 64 of these in this fleet? You have 40 coil Tontos and you still fit 64 SDMs. And these are the 5-pointers. These aren't even the 4-pointers. Okay. This doesn't matter. Point defense controller will overwrite the ignore small targets thing, but honestly, I just like them being detect. And people say coil tontos are expensive. I don't know how the fuck they've done this. I don't know what's going on. I guess they don't really have a whole lot of like anti capital, I guess, strike. 24 torpedoes is not I mean, like, I say that 24 torpedoes isn't a whole lot, but at the same time, like, this is enough to cripple, like, several liners, which is more than enough to get your points worth out of this fleet. Interesting. You're also not running the Star H S1 spam either. But yeah, the missiles, here are the cringe shields, the act, and they'll fire at the same time because they have the same range, but the 24 torpedoes is a cat fleet of torpedoes. Yeah, like, this is good. This is good. I'm very impressed with you getting all of this out of 3K points. This is a really, really good budget of points for this. You did really good designing this, Noek. Anyway, yeah, 64 fucking SDMs. You have 40 coil tontos, 64 SDMs. Your job is just making the enemy carrier player suffer, I guess, with this. So we're going very heavily into the anti-craft loadouts here. Not a whole lot of investment in the bombing role, but you still have enough to be able to do stuff. Like, this is good. This is a very good loadout for 3K points. I'm very impressed. And you also, I mean, like, I say you don't have a lot of anti-capital, but you also have a lot of... You have a decent amount of anti-light with the frag bombs. You've got good loadouts for the KBU-15s. Like, this works. This will work. Very nice. There isn't really a whole lot else to say about this fleet. Like, this has been perhaps one of the most well-budgeted double levy fleets I've seen. Like, the levies themselves are pretty skeletal, right? Like, very little damage control. We're not really buffing the arming time with these, with deck gear lockers. But with the amount of stuff you have in terms of craft and munitions, I think that it's worth it. This is very, very reliable loadout. Very good. I think... Yeah, the fact that you have any DC is good, says Sammy. Yeah, that is true. You do have a rapid in here, which means that you don't die to fires immediately, which is something that I've seen levies die to quite a bit because they don't put any DC in. I vibe with this. This is a really good budget, or really good allocation of points. Moving on. On to double CH. This one was sent in by... Drumroll, please. And Fumin. Let's take a look at this. We have 2 heavy cruisers. All right, it's a modification of Oak. Let's take a look at what they've done. Saturn and Venus are our 2 Axfords here. We are running bow on. Do we have stuff in the front to absorb damage? Not really. We have a large in the front, which I'm not a big fan of, especially if you're doing bow on like this. Larges do not have a lot of health and die really quickly. You typically want to put these in more protected areas, like back in the core down here for Axfords. Anyway, what's our drive loadout? We're doing Whiplash Raider. Okay. Very good. This is kind of like the standard drive setup on Axfords, I've noticed. It's a very good drive setup. You have the ability to orbit dodge at very long range with the Raider, and you get the speed out of the whip. I forgot I have a much more interesting double CH fleet to review other than this. Oh, that's fine. You can put it in the review section. I am planning on doing a live stream on Sunday, so if you put it in there right now, I will get to that in a couple days. But yeah, no worries. The fleet doesn't have to be, I guess, interesting for me to review, right? Like, I'm doing this so that people who want tips on ways to improve their fleets can get tips. That's kind of like the main thing I'm doing here. Anyway, back to the cruisers here. One interruption jammer on the backpack of one of them and a carrier backpack on the other. Only 1 halberd in here. We'll take a look at that later. We'll see what they're bringing. Point defense-wise, we have a pretty good loadout of point defense here. Defenders on these. These little shoulder mounts are not... they're not all that great for point defense guns. Their arcs are really bad. And if missiles come in from, like, this angle here, these point defense guns do not have the elevation to fire. So keep that in mind. Typically on Axfords, you put point defense on these side ones, and then also down here and here is typically where the best mounts for point defense are. I think I do the exact opposite you do with your mounting. I move the bullseye onto the shoulder and the chaff box onto the other shoulder, and then I put defenders on the nose and on the stern, and that typically gives me better point defense arcs. The shoulder mounts do work, although I would definitely move those to arcs where they have better point defense. Bullseye on the shoulder is really good. Yeah, I do like it there a lot. It's pretty well protected, and it still has good arcs for locking things, especially on bow-on Axfords like this, where it can just point forward and you don't have to worry about it. Anyway, up next, let's take a look at the damage control on these things. We have 3 smalls, a rapid, a large, and a reinforced. That is a pretty respectable damage control loadout for a double Axford fleet. Oh, we have different damage control loadouts on both of them. One of them, are these the same point value? Yeah, these are the same point value. 3 smalls, a rapid, large, reinforced. Looks like the other one has 3 smalls, large. So the other one looks like it replaces the rapid with a workshop, I believe, is what's going on here. Yeah, replaces the rapid with a workshop. Okay, I vibe with that. Very interesting to see 2 slightly different damage control loadouts for these Axfords, but both of them work very well. Like a spotlight and VLS on the shoulder for self-illumination. That works too. For my double Axford fleet, I typically put the illuminator on one of the side mounts here, and then I can illuminate the chaff that gets fired on my shoulder. And then I just put the, like, the jamming support stuff in the middle between the 2 Axfords. So, I'll show you my double Axford fleet later. I'll show you what I'm talking about. But yeah, you've got good DC on these. That's good to see. Buff modules, we have a gun plotting and 5 ammunition elevators. Gun plotting and 5 ammunition elevators. Very nice to see. You've got these things fully buffed. Very good. Lots of damage output you have here. And yeah, not a whole lot else to say other than to take a look at what craft we are running. We are running a halberd with the... Ooh, the ELINT sensor. That's not something you see every day. A nice support ship with some good sensors is very cool here. No nose mounts. Does this add any points? It does, but then you'd have to worry about ammo, so I guess that makes sense. Keep in mind that the ELINT sensor is just going to give you a direction that you're detecting it on and not a crossfix. You need multiple ELINT sensors to get a crossfix, and you only have one of these. But allowing you to kind of see the general direction of where enemy radar is kind of useful, especially when you have the more long-range weapons like 450 to potentially deal with it in the future. So, like, sensor assets. One thing that I would do, the only thing that I've kind of noticed on this fleet that I would personally change is I would move the large DC lockers you have in the nose of these. I would move these more to either the core here or to these protected compartments here, and then maybe see if you can get some points to run some aux steerings in the front here for damage absorption. These things are going to be bow on. You're going to be using your angled armor to deflect incoming shells. You want to be putting really high health and really high damage threshold compartments in the nose. And aux steerings have 10 points. They have a lot of health. They have a good damage threshold. And so typically you see those put in the noise for damage absorption. And yeah, like I said, larges do not really have the survivability. You want to be putting these somewhere in the back here where they're protected. But other than that, this is a very well-built double Axford fleet. I really like the... I really like this. Yeah. Oh, and then the other thing I would also change is, yeah, I would move around the defenders and the bullseyes in the VLS one. But yeah, no, very well built. I like this a lot. Up next, we have a double levy fleet. This one was sent in by... I should have this up instead of tabbing back and forth. This is one of Engineering's fleets. Okay. Take a look at what we got here. 2 levies. These ones have... Oh, these ones have good DC. Reinforced CIC, 3 deck gear lockers, 2 flight deck traversal systems. These... Wow, whiplash drives too. Okay, these are like fully built actual carriers. We are 8 points over. What happened here? How did we get 8 points over? I don't know how we did that. I don't know how we did only 8 points over. That should be easy to fix. At the very worst, you can just change out these whiplashes for just standard drives and you'll get the points down, but I'm not sure how we got exactly 8 points over. Public test branch. What was different on... Wait, hang on. What would be different on public test branch that would only affect this by 8 points? Oh, I found it. It's the KBU-22s. They got their price doubled. That would do it, right? What are we running? KBU... Because that would be 4 extra points. Yeah, so no, it's the KBU-22s. The KBU-22s doubled in points from 1 point to 2 points each. So that's definitely what's happening here with the 8 points over. Still, an easy fix. Swap out the drives or do something else like that and you should be good. Take a look at the craft. We have 12 bombers. 40... Ooh! Illuminator Tontos? Interesting. And then 2 of these sundials. I have discovered there is a chance Tontos may still be able to hellbomb. God damn it. Great. So that's bad. Hey Star, let's keep this to ourselves for now, okay? Because I would kind of like to play liners on OSP without being obliterated. Anyway, back to the fleet review. These are very you don't really see these illuminator ones all that. What's the cone on this? That would be it. The cone is still 5 degrees on the nose illuminator. Okay. The nose illuminator is still 5 degrees. I see what the tech is. Spam. Holy mother of S1s. Holy shit. That is 8 S1s on this thing. Oh no. Loiter puts the fuel tanks on and just, yeah, just the same as spam with the loadout. You sacrifice 2 S1s, but you've still got 8. It's not 8, 6. Oh my god. Strike, KBU-15s with the 35 slug. Interesting. And then Hunter is SRH. Wait, what? Okay, never mind. Going back. Spam is all anti-craft SRH. These are frag, not impact. Okay, so spam and loiter are just... Okay, I see what the idea is. You don't have any guns, so you'll lose all gunfights, but you will have the ability to just missile them down, I think is the idea here. And then Hunter is the HE-shaped for, yeah, this is just your typical SAR bomb. Tonto. Fencers, we have torpedoes, we have Act Wake, and Act ARAD as our 2 missile secret combos. Very nice. I like seeing mixed salvos in these bombers. Bombers make mixed salvos very easy to do, and you can just kind of click on 2 different places and do it. Big bombs, we're running cluster bombs and little bombs. There are the KBU-22s. It's not a lot of these, mostly for finishing only. The cluster bombs will also be really good against that. There's not a whole lot of armor that OSP can bring, so cluster bombs are going to be very effective. Oops, just got back. What did I miss on my fleet? Not a whole lot. I was mostly talking about how these, the actual levies are a lot better built than a lot of others I've seen. You are 8 points over, but that is only because of the KBU changes. They are worth 2 points instead of 1 point now. You can very easily fix that, like I said, by just changing out the drive if you want to just do that. The CBU does the bomb fratricide thing. I see. Okay, yeah, so you have to be careful. One of the other changes that they have made, like I said before, is that bombs getting shot down in a salvo means that they will damage all other bombs near them. CBU is useless at the moment because of that. Okay. Against something with no PD, I think they can work, but yeah, you have to be careful, because if one of these cluster bombs gets destroyed, one of the small ones, they will just destroy the entire salvo, I believe. I thought CBUs and RBUs... I thought CBUs had RBUs still, which don't do fratricide. Do they not? Because I know that you have the CBU still has the boosted bombs. It should not, but for whatever reason, it does. Okay, so the CBUs being useless because if one gets shot down, they just remove the entire salvo is an error. Okay. I'm assuming that'll get fixed in a patch coming up, but for right now, yeah, I guess just be careful with the CBUs. But yeah, I did notice you have, SAR H Illuminator, Nose Illuminator Tontos here. You're taking advantage of the fact that these are still 5 degrees instead of 10. They haven't been nerfed like the pods have. And I've noticed that your main anti-craft is just spamming a bunch of S1 SAR H's, which is a little bit funny. You have absolutely no guns on these things, and you just deal with enemy craft by putting 8 fucking SAR H missiles. Oh my god, this is... I look at this and I experience fear. This is incredible. I love this. And then you still have the SAR one, the SAR S1 strikes with the nose illuminator, which works. I'm usually using the power of 1.5k range on the Illum, so I basically have 8 SDMs. Is it 4.5 on the nose? Oh my god, it is. What are the pods? Oh my... It's 3 compared to 4.5? Why don't we see nose illuminators more often? Why don't we just do this? Why... This is incredible. Okay, I vibe with this a lot. This is some very strange tech, but I think this will work very well. Because, apparently, SAR-H AMMs against craft are very effective. Nose illums are insanely good. People sleep on them for some reason. Yeah, I think people sleep on them is because, losing the gun is a very scary thing. Yeah, like Tasty says. Because if you run out of missiles, your squadron is effectively useless. But with the amount of missiles you have on these, I don't think that running out of missiles is going to be too big of a problem. But yeah, no, I vibe with this fleet a whole lot. The levies are very well built. If you want to shave points, you can probably take some of the DC or deck gear lockers off the levies and run more, craft or missiles or bomb strikes or whatever you want to do. 8 points for ATA loadout. It's expensive to run this? Not really. It's no more expensive than guns, really, because the missiles are only 1 point each, and the Illuminator adds no point to the Tonto. It's not, yeah. Coil gun can be reloaded. That is true as well, yeah. The other thing is that you are still getting the advantage of having a 5-degree cone on a illuminator for your S1 strikes is what you also get. But yeah, it's loses the ability to shut down for ship self-defense. That is also true, yes. You will not be, you do not have a gun on these, so if you're using these to defend your carrier, they are not going to be able to shoot down stray missiles that get close to your carrier. And these carriers do not have any point defense on them by themselves. So it's pros and cons, really, I suppose. I can definitely see this working. You are sacrificing things to get this to work, but I don't think that it's an unusable loadout. I think that it'll still be effective if you use them correctly. You can just fire the missiles at inbound missiles. Yeah, that is true. If you eliminate the missiles, you do have a lot of missiles on here to spend against incoming missiles. The nuclear option strat, indeed. Yeah, simply just lock the incoming missiles and fire one of your own missiles at it. It's as simple as that. Yeah, the other thing is that, yeah, like Tasty says, you will also have to worry about containers and incoming SDMs. Coils are very effective against both of those, and without that coil, yeah, your missiles these S1s are not going to be as effective at shooting down SDMs and containers. But yeah, things to consider. I definitely, like I said, I don't think this fleet is bad. I think this fleet will definitely work. It's just that you're sacrificing certain things to get it to work, which is always something to consider when making a fleet. But yeah, not a whole lot else to say about this one. I think we are moving on to the last one we have for today. This is, I think it's a battleship fleet, if I'm remembering correctly. Yep, STM Backpack BB. This one was sent in by Toast. Let's see what we got here. Upset Grayson's Spiky Boots. The battleship is a 450 battleship with a VLS backpack. It says it had SDMs in here. Yep, we've got 28 of these SDMs. We'll take a look at those. Drive setup, we have Whiplash Raider Dragonfly, which gives you good speed and maneuverability. We're slightly over on power. We're overpowered. I don't know how you got overpowered by 10. Being overpowered by 10 does not matter. You do not have to worry about this. It's fine. Parallax Raider, damage control. We have 4 reinforced and 3 large. They are being buffed by... I think that's a... Is that one... Yeah, that's a damage control central and a workshop, I believe, is what's giving you that combo. I don't understand why I can't tab over this like I can the other buffed things and see what's buffing them. I don't get it. But yeah, that's a... Is that... I think that's 2 small workshops. Is it 2? And that's 1... No, I think it's just 1. Yeah, it's just 1 small workshop. Anyway, let's see what our guns are looking like here. We have 2 gun and plotting centers. I've noticed you put them in the back here. Keep in mind, these 2 compartments are some of your most protective compartment slots. Putting large DC lockers in these ones goes a long way. I would definitely move your larges here and put your gun plotting centers elsewhere. Because your gun plotting centers you don't necessarily need for, like, ship survivability. They're good for damage output. But if you start taking fire, the thing you want to be sacrificing first is, like, return fire damage output rather than ship survivability. Where are your larges, by the way? Oh, yeah. Do not put your larges up here. They will die. You have no angled armor from the bridge here, so any shell that hits the bridge is just going to put all of its damage into these larges. I would definitely move these larges into here and put your gun plotting centers up in this, like, massed section instead. Bulk mag being here is a bit vulnerable. I typically put mine here because then I can use a reinforced compartment in this compartment here to tank for the magazine. Apart from that, you've got good buff modules, you have mount gyros, you have ammunition, or yeah, you have gun plotting centers. Your damage output is going to be very respectable with this. What else do we have? We have defenders, blanket. You have a blanket jammer on this. Let's see, where is the blanket jammer? On the nose. I see. A little bit of jamming coverage. That's always very helpful. But yeah, in terms of actual, like, what you have as damage control, it's very well built. The only thing I would change is positioning of damage control. But yeah, other than that, Scryer, and then the parallax in the nose. Yep, fairly standard stuff for a gun build battleship. Interruption jammer, backup antenna, some stone walls there, and some stone walls on the cheeks. Yeah, this is pretty similar to how I build my damage control and defense setup on my battleship. SDM backpack is very helpful as well. You've got 28 of them. That's quite a lot. Your escort is a... Ooh, it's Sarissa Frig. I love seeing these. Double Sarissa, frontline radar, reinforced drive, reinforced, and a VLS-1 for some chaff and an arming missile. Okay. I vibe with the Sarissa Frig. Sarissas are very effective in this meta. You've got 7 minutes firing time on the Sarissas, which is very nice to see. Not for Sarissas cringe. Well, consider that they have 2 Sarissas plus 28 SDMs. They have the ability to defend against craft with this loadout. But yeah, Sarissa Frig is a very good zoning tool. I'm assuming, do you have these information? You do. Yeah, if you play the battleship at long, medium range, you can use the Sarissa Frig as a zoning tool. Put down fire with the 450s. Very nice to see. I mean, like... Take a look at the SDMs really quickly. These are standard 5-pointers. 180, max speed, yeah. Arming missiles, pretty fair. Yeah, I mean, like, there's not a whole lot else to say about this battleship. I would definitely move around these internal compartments a bit. Put the larges in a place where they're more protected. You've got good, steering... Oh, you have an aux steering here. I would put the aux steering in the front and move the reinforced back, by the way. The aux steering, if it dies, you don't lose a restore. If the reinforced dies, you do. But yeah, other than a couple compartment location changes, I don't think there's a whole lot else to say about this fleet. Very well built Solomon, very nice escort to have with the Solomon, and yeah. I think with that, I think that was the last fleet we had today. Yeah. Let us do a quick match really quickly to close off today's stream, and then I'll probably have to go after that. I've got some stuff I need to take care of tonight. Some schoolwork, of course, because, you know, I am a university student. I do have to be responsible occasionally. You did. I think yours was a little bit ago. You can go back and watch the VOD. But yeah, I reviewed your missile CL fleet with Neko. Neko was there to review it with me, so either my VOD or their VOD, either one of them will work. But yeah, anyway, let us hop into a multiplayer match to close out the day. Do we think we have enough people in here to populate an empty server? Oh, these are official maps only. Oh, jeez. What else is going on? What else do we have? Callie's is up. Let's just populate ERI 1. We can play a Pillars match. Good old match of Pillars. Everyone hop into ERI 1. What fleet do I want to play today? Guess I'm playing an ANS fleet. Good ANS fleets do I have? I am also going to pop into this voice call so I can coordinate with my teammates.
Hello.
Hello. Alright, we need 2 more people and we'll have a full lobby. Nice. When did Sammy turn gold? You've been gold for a while, right?
Yeah, for like a few weeks. Doesn't mean I'm any better all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, reaching your birthday doesn't make you a year older, it only makes you a day older.
Yeah. Yeah, your rank is a measure of matches played, not, skill level. I know a lot of blues who are very good at the game, and I know a lot of golds who are not so good at the game.
Like, I don't think I'm terrible most of the time, but I don't think I'm good either.
I'm kind of in the same boat you are. I think I'm good enough to, like, do my job on a fleet. In like a team, but I don't consider myself insanely good at the game or anything.
Should I use these heavy cruisers or should I use my broadside heavy cruisers?
Up to you. You said this was the one you submitted earlier. If you want to test out your
Yeah.
changes, that works. I don't
Oh
mind.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to you what you want to bring. I do like this fleet comp, though. We already have a really good fleet comp. Alright, I think we're good. I think ANS is good to go. I think we're just waiting on OSP to figure out what they're running.
Mhm.
Oh, does Star not have any updated OSP fleets? Oh god. Well,
Uh,
the CLN. Yippee. Remember, the pikes that you'll see are illuminators and self-illum your chaff.
Okay. Let's hope a Killjoy works.
Yeah, you could hope. I don't even run Killjoys anymore. I just need the points for SDMs in a lot of my capitals.
It's fair.
This is the right fleet, right? Oh wow, we have a lot of spectators today. This is a Nerf Team 3 moment. Although I can't say that. We have enough people in the lobby to actually start a game.
Yeah.
I think they're still probably coordinating their fleets on the other team. Let's see, I wanted to... Oh. I went into fleet editor and everyone immediately readied up, of course. Just waiting on hello, right? Yeah. There we go. All right. We got a match. Let's go. Alrighty. Okay, so I can deny A. I have a beamstone for that.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the caps I can handle. Caps.
I'll go
Hopefully,
poke E, but
fingers crossed.
you know, not drive entirely onto it, like, you know, play normally.
All right. Cool. All right. I will have assets scattered around the map for capping stuff too. So
250 frig up by C, just throw that a little bit.
okay, nice. That frigate is my backup in case Grand Luster gets yubbed.
It does have Saristas on it, so it might be able to like cover you from Yob. But
Oh,
of course, if
nice.
you do still die, I can go into point.
We have our Axford's middle by the looks of it. Okay, that's good. Yeah, okay. And then we'll poke E with the voxels. Okay, yeah, I like this.
Oopsie.
Oh, don't worry. It happens to everyone.
We'll get it done, Commander. Moving out, Commander.
Helm, take us in. How can we help today, Commander? Aye, aye, Commander. We're moving. We're ready whenever you are. Moving. We're reading you. Aye, aye. Full power. Aye, aye, Commander. We're moving. Copy that. Moving. Orders.
The enemy is securing
Aye, aye.
zone
Full burn.
Eclipse.
Oh, they're already on it.
The
GG.
enemy is securing zone Boxer.
It's over.
We are securing
There's nothing that
zone
can be done.
Oh well, might as well surrender, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry we couldn't end on a win, guys. We fought hard.
Got you 5 by 5. Receiving.
We're ready when you are, Commander.
Yapping about in chat.
Receiving. Aye, aye.
Hmm.
He went low.
Send traffic.
Interesting.
Understood.
The enemy secured zone
At
Eclipse.
the ready, Commander.
The enemy secured zone Boxer.
Receiving.
We have secured zone Dagger.
Helm, take us in. Send your traffic.
We have secured zone Comet.
Something else is spawning me.
Aye, aye. Full power.
Missiles out on something. I don't know. Looks like they're sending them to.
A few things under the map.
We're reading.
Those look like missiles. No, this could be ships.
Huh?
Those are ships.
Yeah, or maybe craft? No, those
Yeah,
are
No,
rebels.
you got them dealt with right there. I'm assuming they're rocket ferrymen.
Yeah, they should be.
Alright, they're colliding with each other. Yeah, you can RPF them to death. Should have no problem with that.
Receiving.
They sent missiles to D. I'm assuming these could be containers, maybe? Yep, they sent containers to D, but I should get out of there in time.
Waiting orders.
Yeah, good work on those ferrymen. They have a ship by A. Looks like it was potentially trying to go for A.
Got you 5
Yeah.
by 5.
It moves on, I can switch fire that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
if it does, I have a
on.
beamstone in the area to kill it.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Command.
Thank you for firing your point defense gun at containers that are not going to hit you. I love wasting ammo.
At the ready, Commander.
They're spotted. We have another flank of what I'm assuming are
That moving.
rocket corvettes from the flank,
Opening fire.
from the
Possibly.
opposite flank.
Initiating attack.
Send your
Group
traffic.
3 detected. I'm assuming that's what they are.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Yeah, Mercury, Venus, watch out. We have flankers on the side here. I'm not sure what these are yet.
We're ready when you are, Commander.
Did I not kill the thing on A?
Get it done, Commander. Standing
There we go.
We're on our way. Copy that, Commander.
That is quite a few.
As ferrymen should be pretty dead, they could probably just get a visual on them to make sure they're like fully dead.
Am I still being...
Standing by.
I'm still being detected by 5154, I think. I'm jamming it out right now. My keystone was detected earlier.
I think it's potting.
Traffic.
Okay.
Standing by.
Yeah, it's potting. Good job. Alright, they're sending one... Looks like they're sending one rocket ferryman at Torp 3, and the others are going low, potentially to deal with Axfords or my Beamstone.
Send your traffic.
Just be advised.
On the way, Commander.
Okay.
Yeah, they're rockets.
Moving out. Take him out.
They fired from long range.
Aye, aye, Commander. We're moving. Send your traffic. Beginning the attack. Aye, aye, Commander. We're moving.
Rocket shuttles are splitting up.
How can we help
By the looks
today,
of it.
Commander? Go ahead, Command. It'll be done, Commander.
Oh, you don't have a Pavis on you. Die.
Got you 5 by 5. How can we help today, Commander? Stop the ship.
Alright, I just hit 4242 with the torpedo. It's
Let's go.
suffering.
Go ahead, Command. At the ready, Commander. Well, malfunction.
Shit, there was another one? Damn, okay.
Outgoing missile.
This one also doesn't have a Pavis on it. Or a torpedo, please.
Missile inbound.
You're still functional? Bruh, okay.
I'm not sure what that is. Over by 80. Could be Triliner.
Okay, I'm gonna lose Torp 3 here.
Get out power
Damn.
again. Quickly, Commander.
Torp 3 just got cored by another rocket ship.
Yeah.
Take him out.
It's fine.
Aye, aye, Commander.
I have ships in the area to help with that.
Yeah, I'm for shooting them as well with the frig, but like, you can only do so much against all of them.
Yeah, alright. Well, at the very least, if they rush us with all their light assets, they will be unlikely to have any left for the late game.
Power. How can we help today, Commander? Quickly, Commander.
The enemy is
At
securing
the
zone
ready, Commander. How can we help today, Commander? Missile, missile!
Of the Sarissa trying to help.
Understood. Engaging. Copy that. Moving. Aye, aye, Commander. We're moving.
Oh, hello. You're very close to me.
I don't like this. Why is he right there? Shoot him.
Do we have any idea what the rest of the enemy team is, by the way? It's just been these
Uh,
stupid
no.
shuttles.
I know there's a liner. There's a liner down by A.
Liner
but
down
that's
by
about all I know.
A, okay.
I mean, I'm just gonna assume based on my hit markers.
We're out of
Yeah, I also think it is. It looks like 3 things, like, kind of in formation. That, like,
Yeah,
that feels
it
like
could be
probably line.
triple liner or liner and 2 SLOs. Like maybe there's a liner half cap. I don't know. Just
Okay.
brainstorming.
They definitely have a CLN. That's where those containers have been coming from.
How can we help today, Commander? Aye, aye. Full power.
It might be.
Take him out.
Are those going?
It could be a like saw pike CLN.
Point defense.
Star did say that they might get a fleet from Cookie, so yeah,
Yeah, I
it
think-
could be a
Yeah, from Tasty Cookie. I recognize the names of
Alright.
pikes.
Sears. Yeah,
It's
that's
Michael-
yeah.
Psycho Loom CLN.
Use
Or
manual
Trust.
fire. Use manual fire SDMs to attack the spikes, those are the illuminators for the containers.
Aye, aye. Full power. Standing by, Commander.
Oh, rockets on. Defender locking.
Awaiting orders.
Oh shit, I didn't even see that one. Fuck.
Understood. We're en route. The enemy has engaged.
Yikes.
Oh, they have.
Fuck,
Okay, those
okay.
are more liners on E.
That nearly just mission killed that, Yep. Damn.
Go ahead, Command. How can we help today, Commander? Understood. Engaging.
Okay, interesting.
Bring us to a stop.
They might go for an ACAB now that that ship's been knocked out.
Go ahead, Command. Moving out. Go ahead, Command. Send it.
Well, I still technically have all my ships. Technically.
Aye, aye. Full burn.
No.
Today, Commander.
Module
Understood.
restoration
Engaging.
complete. Power grid down.
It looks like there's stuff that was waiting at A is going over to E.
Okay. Yeah, still be careful about pushes.
We're screw with the sensors, Commander.
I could
Actually, I'm gonna
push
push.
onto A.
Do not with experts.
Moving out.
Okay.
Not at the close range.
How can we help today, Commander?
I'm pushing a Corv onto A. We can afford to lose a Corvette, but experts are a very expensive thing to lose this early.
Aye, aye. Full power. Proceed. Set traffic. Aye, aye. Full burn.
Enemy is securing surveillance.
Understood.
Tell us
Really, we're
what to
doing
do,
this
Commander.
again?
Course
No,
plotted.
I can get RPF onto it.
Alright, my Keystone is still operational, so I can still kill it.
Take him out.
I don't have comms on my Keystone. My Keystone's comms are out, so I can't lock it yet.
Tell us what to do,
Go
Commander.
ahead, Command.
So hopefully.
What are you? It's a Draugr.
Oh, that's an
okay.
MMT. Yeah.
I see.
Targeting hostile.
Hopefully the Killjoy works here.
Position, Commander.
Beamstone is
No, it
still
doesn't seem to be.
operational.
Oh god, that might not
Oh,
be
what
good.
the fuck? That's a, that's not an MMT. That is a,
Okay, well, rep one of my CLs. The Killjoy did not work.
Course plotted.
At the ready, Commander.
Alright, the ship on A is dead. It wasn't, it was just a, early warning.
Missile reserves.
It had an MLS for some reason though.
Damn,
Maybe
okay.
they're long range. Some, like,
I wasn't paying
long
attention and
range.
they killed my cheeky little, There's another rocket shuttle over here! Oh my god.
Hostile spike drone stowed. Got you 5 by 5. On the way, Commander.
We are securing surveillance.
Got you
Alright, the
5 by
ship
5.
at sea is dead. The enemy ship at sea is dead.
Send your traffic. Copy that. Moving. Aye, aye, Commander. Beginning the attack. Orders.
I'm really curious what these warships by A are because they
Liners, I'm
haven't shot at
assuming?
me. Like,
Yeah, the one
at
the one
all.
on E is a liner.
Yeah, those are
I've literally
liners.
taken 0 damage.
Alright, If you haven't taken any fire from them, just maintain your range bracket.
Yeah, I'm moving backwards.
We have secured Zone Atlas.
How can we help?
A is secured.
On the way, Commander.
These might be modded? No. Oh, that's why they haven't fired back. The 3 tracks at A are bow on obelisk liners. Fire AP into them.
Okay, yeah, I already switched to AP.
Yeah, fire AP into them and stay out of, stay as long range as possible while still being able to fire back.
Standing by.
Alright.
Force laid in. Force laid in.
Why can I not spot the pike? Okay, I'm actually dying to containers now because I can't spot the pike for some
The
reason.
container liner is direct fire and does have illuminators on the liner itself.
Moving out.
You might just be being
Maybe?
Send your traffic.
detected and...
We're ready when you are, Commander.
Yeah, I'm being detected by something. I'm not sure what.
Moving out.
So ferryman going D. If I can stop that.
Yes, there is. I can stop that.
Missile launch detected. Copy that. Aye, aye.
It's an additional rocket ferryman, by the way.
Got you 5 by 5. It'll be done, Commander. Copy that. Moving. Standing by.
Alright, I think I've burned through most of Airman's,
You're, you know when I died to
ships.
that CLN. I don't know how to kill it. I don't know if it's like it was only 2. I feel like that shouldn't be able to overpower. Like that shouldn't overpower the jamming. I would think. Unless it is. Unless I guess it just does.
Waiting orders. Underway. Got you 5 by 5. On the way, Commander. Take him out. We're ready whenever you are.
They might secure D temporarily
Go
here.
ahead, Command. Beginning the attack. On the way, Commander. Send your traffic. Take him out. Aye, aye. Full power. Receiving.
Clint's. I don't know if we've already killed that ferryman, but Clint was one.
It went to D. I think it overshot D, I think is what happened.
No, up here. I don't know if that one's one we've already killed. I'm just getting unburned through.
Oh, for fuck's sake, there's another one? Okay.
I'm not sure.
I don't ever remember killing one that high, so...
Also, I found where the D one was. It's like over here.
Yep. Are you dealing with it, or do you want me to deal with it?
Yeah, I
'Cause
should
can
be able to deal with it. I'm just gonna put my frigate on D.
Copy.
Standing by. We're on the move. Rounds incoming. Losing component.
Another rocket ship over here. Fuck. These things you have!
One down, Commander. Let 'em have it.
Oh, it's gonna kill me.
Ah, they got behind cover.
Okay, there's yet another rocket shuttle moving, flanking C.
Here. Missile incoming. Aye, aye, Commander. We're moving. Out with it.
Shit, can't deal with that one. I'm out of assets on that side.
Oh, I'm finally taking fire from
The obelisks. Or the 450.
I think it's just 450. So probably HE into there.
Waiting orders. We've spent most of our missiles. Moving. What now, Commander? We can't move! We've restored a module. Out with it!
He's gonna finish me off on this side. Fuck.
Okay, yeah, the thing I saw like up in the sky at is, I mean, at sea was one we've already killed, luckily.
We're a bit busy, Commander.
He's still fucking alive? Holy shit, okay.
With the one on D.
No, my my gun one has just been mercilessly rocketed by this rocket shuttle, and it's still technically alive. I'll be able to defend C. I have something else to,
Yeah, and D's almost cleaned up.
Okay, that's nice.
We've got an inbound missile.
Oh lord. The obelisks are in range.
Yeah, see if you can open the range as much as possible.
Or maybe I go down past C to the lower angle.
Spiker in play. We've repaired a module. Let's hear it. We're ready whenever you are. Missile is away. Aye, aye. We're on the way. How can we help today, Commander? We're ready whenever you are.
The enemy is securing zone common.
Moving. Waiting for your orders, Commander. Ready for orders.
We're pushing the obelisks back out of the map, which is nice.
Course laid in.
There's nothing over there that, for them to really do anything about.
Course laid in. We're ready whenever you are.
Alrighty. On. Stupid fucking thing.
Enemy lock detected.
We're
We have
locked.
the loud and clear.
Shit.
Incoming, incoming. Lose modules. Ready for orders.
More containers out on something, I think.
It's on our Axford.
Lost a module.
Yeah.
We are completely out of power. Spiker in play. Orders.
You know, surprisingly, despite the SRH, I still have a lot of assets left that are still functional.
We've repaired a module.
Shit, they just vaporized our Axford at A. Fuck.
Yikes.
Oh, I thought I was hoping it would survive.
I was kind of hoping it would too.
Yeah, it was like,
Thing folded like instantaneously. Christ.
Underway. Ready. All hands abandon ship at the ready, Commander. Standing by.
We have secured zone common.
Go
C
ahead,
is resecured.
halting.
Still on evade. What are you?
Aye, aye.
Track 9603. Potential CLN. I'm calling it now.
Course laid in. Got you five
A
by
little bit
five.
for ID on that.
We're reading you.
So you know
oh, I didn't
what?
realize we had a rail, rail stones.
We have a single railstone, yeah.
Aye, aye.
In with the RPF identification round.
On it. Spiker, Spiker.
Nope.
Standing by.
I don't think that's a CLN.
Force laid in.
Wherever you are, you're going A. I'm going to stop you from doing that.
Go ahead, Command. It'll be done, Commander.
Like, I mean, despite the rocket shuttles, I still have a lot of stuff left.
We're reading you.
Fortunately, I cannot say the same when it comes to the SAW CLN. Run out of stuff, but like, not as much as I would like.
Aye, aye, Commander. Moving out. We're ready.
So the
You
thing
are
I see is
a
dead.
Standing by.
tugboat. I killed it finally? Alright.
Orders.
Come on, track it.
The enemy is securing zone
Awaiting
A.
orders, Commander. Awaiting orders, Commander.
It'll be done, Commander.
Alright, that's a 450 liner moving on to A point.
Understood. Locking
I'm just
on
gonna-
to us, Commander. No can do, Commander. We'll get it done, Commander.
Come on, fire the beam. Just kill them.
Ready.
Yeah, they're moving
Welcome.
their double 450 fleet onto A. Just gun them down.
At the ready, Commander. Understood. Engaging.
The enemy
On the
has
way,
engaged.
Commander.
Component lost. We're ready when you are, Commander.
Shit.
Damage detected.
Keystone's mission killed.
Component disabled, Commander.
Tracking missile. Ready.
Component destroyed, Commander. Component lost.
Aye, aye. Full burn.
Component lost. Reactor is back online.
Aye, aye.
We are securing zone Boxer. The enemy secured zone
At the ready, Commander.
They got A.
We've got internal. Our reactor just sent down that
At the ready, Commander.
They got A, but they sent two 450 line ships onto the point to do it.
Ready.
Yeah, I think it's. I think we're in a pretty decent position overall. So
I think we are, yeah. Axfords, yeah, just stay safe. Just keep putting suppressive fire down. More containers out. If you can, self-illuminate your chaff. That will likely decoy them.
Yeah, I have no illuminators.
Yet. Okay, that's bad.
At the ready, Commander.
I think he'll hard kill most of it.
Aye, aye,
Yeah.
Commander.
Yeah, double axe for
Done,
point
Commander.
defense goes insane
aye.
sometimes.
On it.
Alright, B point is secured, though, so we still have the cap advantage.
Boxer.
I don't think they have any light assets to really flank around and take points anymore after Airmen lost
Yeah, I
all of
think
their rocket
it's-
shuttles.
I think it's just the Bloodhound tug, which is going to be. I should be able to intercept it.
They've got a
Tell us
lock
what
on
to do,
us.
Commander.
If those liners...
On the way, Commander.
That's a liner. Shit. Just gonna say, if those liners move off of A enough, I can back cap it, but one of them's already moving back onto the point.
One of the liners just on A just launched torps for some reason.
They're for my capper. That's in the area. I have a defender and arc. It's not gonna hit. Never mind. Yeah, torps are for me. It's fine.
Ready.
It's back online.
So managed just Sarissa one.
Nice.
Spiker on the scope. On the way, Commander.
Oh wait, there are Marauders going at Z.
Standing by.
Shit, the Marauders got to see. Fuck!
Coordinates locked. Missile fired. Missile locked.
I thought they would go wider. Damn.
Moving. Missile reserves low. Component offline.
And I lost my programming
do it.
bus. Shit.
I do have my seems like D should be fairly locked down if the X should stay on it. I do have a jam strength where I can potentially eat onto A if we kill the liner.
Go ahead, Command. Component offline.
They're 250 liners. Shit. Okay.
Component destroyed.
Well, they're gonna get
locked in.
C. They're gonna get
Locked in.
C. I can potentially get E maybe. Yeah, the thing is, the problem is that they have 2 liners guarding A.
Component offline. Still against the reactor. Lost data link. Go ahead, command. Hull breach, hull breach. Abandoned ship, abandoned ship. They're taking shots at us.
Ouch.
Requesting repairs.
Oh.
ASAP.
Do you want me to stay on D or go for E?
I would stay on
Got
D.
you 5 by 5.
E is going to take you into the range of a bunch of things you don't want to be next to.
Yeah.
A little banged up, Commander.
Yep. Okay, that is in fact the more line you found. 1154.
I'm already launching torps.
Oh, 120.
Missile count is low. Receiving. We'll get it done.
What was shooting? What was shooting plasma?
One of the liners at
Oh,
C
it's
has
a,
plasma
I
on
see,
it.
I see.
Guidance online. We're low on missiles.
The enemy is securing zone common.
Standing by. How can we help today, Commander?
Alright. You should be safe from the container liner for now.
Receiving.
Yeah, I knocked out its banks.
5 by 5.
You might be able to push onto the 450 liners at A, and if you do that, I can sneak around and take A. Wait, where are your Axfords? Okay, yeah, just
They're
keep moving your Axfords closer to E, and I'm gonna flank around this rock and take A from behind the liners, and the liners will be forced to target either one of us.
We're moving.
Yeah, and I know they're hurting because they're
Yep.
hiding.
Take them out. Got you 5 by 5.
Enemy secured zone common.
Got C. Just try and open the range to the obelisks. Or not the obelisks, they're just 250 broadsiders, but try to open the range to them,
At the ready, Commander.
and the enemy will be forced to make choices.
How can we help today? Missile detected.
We're securing zone atlas.
Orders. At the ready, Commander.
Yep. We just need to hold this for a couple seconds and we win. We're already at 920 points. Yeah, the liners at A have no sidearms. They have to roll to get their 450 onto me.
How can we help today, Commander?
And they're both roll. It looks like at least one of them is rolling to get its 450 onto me, so you should be able to push them, and their guns will not be in arc.
On the way, Commander.
Yeah, we got him. We got him.
Orders.
Is ours. A will be ours.
Got you 5 by 5. Understood. Engaging.
And Atlas is ours. Got him.
Gaming.
Gaming indeed. Yeah, good job, guys.
Lend us go. Send your traffic.
Hooray.
I feel like my frigate is gonna end up out damaging my CLs.
Missile supply very slow.
Oof. My poor sprinter on E is dead, but it's too late.
Understood. Engaging.
Yep. The liners on A are moving on to the point to try and retake it, but yeah, they're gonna get into the range of your fire and just get torn up. Nice. The obelisks are going for D, but they're not going to arrive in time, and they have to kill the jammer on the point to get it. Yeah, we got him. We got him.
Send your traffic.
Nice. Good job, guys.
Hmm.
I'm very impressed I managed to survive as well as I did against all those rocket shuttles. I'm assuming they just brought a fleet of 10 of them, yeah. They did good damage. They beat up my Keystone quite a lot, but it was still alive enough to deny the point a couple times. And my torpedoes, yeah, my torpedoes did good work. Oh, wow, one of my gunships did not 8K? Very epic. And yeah, good work in the Axfords and Foonmen.
Oh yeah, I was right.
Yeah.
My police frig outdamaged my CLs.
13K, nice.
Clearly, we need to buff CL and
Buff
nerf
CL.
frigates.
This is a buff CL moment, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do 30k damage this match.
No.
Hello, Star.
Hello. That was a good game.
That was a good game, yeah. Airmen rushing a bunch of rocket shuttles at my cat fleet was really not fun for me. I was having a bad time. I survived the rush better than I had any right to, though, so it was nice. Now you had the CLN, right? Yeah, you did really good. Yeah, 34K, good job.
It was a bit tricky because I got handed it, but I'm gonna check my roommates are dying or something.
Yeah, I heard that in the background. Are they good? Wait, hang on.
Okay, nothing's happening. They're just messing around.
Hang on a second. The triple liner fleet you had with the 250s. I recognize this fleet, I think. 1299, 1014, and 1264. I want to check something. Oh my god, it's my fleet. Oh my god. I knew those liners looked familiar. It's my fleet, but named differently. Fuck.
Amazing.
This is the second time Thunder Puppy has stolen my fleet during one of my live streams and used it against me. Actually incredible. Holy fucking based.
Yeah. Tasty, right before the match, handed me this fleet when like, go on, do a crime.
You did 34K to us. Like, you that Axford that you killed near A, it went from full health to dead instantaneously because it was under 450 fire as well.
Ah,
We
yeah, that would do it.
You hit it with the containers and then the 450 just immediately broke DT. And I'm not gonna lie, at that point when we lost that heavy cruiser, we're just like, oh, we're fucked, aren't we?
Yeah, it's also my CLs both died to it.
Yeah.
I thought I could killjoy it, but no.
No. Yeah, SAR-H
Did
illumination
Tasty
is
ever,
scary.
did Tasty ever describe why the killjoys didn't work?
Because there is like it has wake backup instead of Hodge or ARAD.
Yeah, I think they were saying
So like it would jam out the
that.
act, and the wake would just go straight until it stopped getting jammed, and then go back to the saw. I mean, when I said act, I meant saw.
And yeah, it was me who torped you near the end. I had a torp corv hiding under the map for the entire game.
Oh,
And
that wasn't the one on B?
Yeah. That's the one that went to B and then looped around to torp the your CLN. I was hiding it underneath the map, and I'm like, oh, I can get a sneaky back cap or hit a backline asset. But then your liners were just there between me and anything, and I'm like, cool, great. So it just kind of sat there until the very end.
My teammates were like, "Go sit on B." I'm just like, "I'm pretty sure there's Torp Corp right there."
Because
I'm just like,
you detected it.
I'm not sure that's gonna work.
You detected it a couple times under the map. I think you knew what it was.
I saw it for a moment. I'm just like, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. I'm just gonna pretend it doesn't exist because problems don't exist until they become problems.
So this cap fleet, I love it a lot. I have 3 gun corps and 3 torp corps, and I do all the camping with the gun corps, right? Because they're cheaper than the torp ones. And I go around, I push with them, and then I just have the torp corps sitting in really sneaky areas around the map, waiting to like do something late game or ambush something. And that's the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super fun. Anyway, yeah, GG.
Good game.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm probably gonna call the stream here today. I do have homework I need to do, and we went through 3.5 hours. That seems incorrect. But yeah, I will.
Didn't you start at 6?
Did I? I think I did. Yeah, no. EST. Yeah, I would have started at 6. Wow, I've been going for a while, haven't I? Well, yeah. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end the stream here. I've got stuff to do tonight, but yeah, thank you guys all for joining. It was really fun doing the co-op fleet review with Neko. That was really fun. I'm a little sad we didn't get any matches together, but in the future, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I will see you guys around.
Alright, see you.
Bye.